All right, about to go live. All right, y'all. Peace, love, and light. It's your brother Blue Report live and direct to you. This is No The Ledge Media, and you are now rocking with the best. All right, welcome back. This is another episode of KTL Radio, uh, Tough Talk Tuesdays. All right, this is episode 2 of Tough Talk Tuesdays. We're gonna continue this conversation. You know, well, how do they say it? Uh, Backed by popular demand. You dig what I'm saying? The people have requested it. We put the 1-2 thing together, so we back. All right. Let me know if all of the levels is okay. Okay. If the audio is coming in good. I got my video working today. You dig what I'm saying? I got my camera working. You feel me? So you're gonna see me in 1080 DP. Yes, indeed. You're gonna see the half moon with the full moon outside. We putting that thing together. You dig what I'm saying? Absolutely. Absolute. Tough Talk Tuesday. All right. Peace, love, and light. Okay. Featuring our brother Kim Brisbon. Okay. Y'all have been asking for the brother to come back. People have been emailing me and texting me about our last conversation all week. So this is a heavily anticipated show. I look forward to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's going to be a merge of trending topic Tuesday because there's a lot of stuff going on. I ain't got to tell you. You feel me? There's a lot going on, but we're going to pay some bills in the interim. You know what I'm saying? We're going to jump that off real quick. Then we're going to get into this episode. All right. So give me a second. Let me get some things situated on the boards. All right. And peace, love, and light, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Everybody that rocked out with us for the last episode. You know, as my brother Billionaire PA would say, we appreciate your existence. You dig what I'm saying? So thank you everyone who came through for the Financial Freedom Fridays featuring our sister Casey Cooper in the Compass Circle. That was a very powerful episode. All right. I want to shout out to the Chicago Crypto Hustler for the Money Mitch Mondays. You dig what I'm saying? Who else? Yeah, that's been it for now. I want to give a shout out, of course, to my other half, brother Red Pill. Give a shout out to the whole clan, Mama Pill, KT the Arch Degree, all of the extended family to come along with that. You know what I'm saying? Brother Rich over at UGR, AA Rashid out there doing his thing. Who else is in the building? You know, my brother Black Dot. You feel me? Continuously bringing that consistent programming. Very compelling content. You know what I'm saying? I watched a few of the shows. You know what I'm saying? That brother continues to go places where many people are not willing to. You know, that Dame Dash episode that he put out, that was a powerful one. All right. So shout out to him. Shout out to Malcolm, his son. Shout out to the whole clique, the whole collective. Everybody out there doing their thing. You know, YouTube is like cable now. You know how cable got like 500 channels, or you know how Netflix got mad programming. It's only like 4 or 5 things that you really want to watch. That's how YouTube is. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's mad shows, it's mad channels on YouTube, but I cannot watch all of them shits. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit is like super duper lame. It's corny as hell. It's just dry. You feel me? Like I don't walk away with no upgrade for my information. You dig what I'm saying? It's corny as fuck. You know what I mean? I don't get anything out of it. There's mad regurgitation going on. Like somebody puts out something and everybody else runs with it. Nobody's doing original programming. No one seems to be utilizing these airwaves, to like really do anything unique. So YouTube is lame as fuck. So shout out to the people that's actually doing something that's compelling. Like I want to log on to my account and be like, yo, I look forward to looking, at this content. I look forward. I got to save this because I want to look at this. I honestly, like, I've been catching up on DJ Vlad. You feel me? DJ Vlad is the interrogation room. Like, that's when niggas go to debrief themselves. I'm not mad at Vlad for that. He just sets the environment up and niggas come and tell compelling stories about themselves, all of the details. So I've been catching up, you know what I'm saying, on on all of the crimes USA, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing all of the unsolved crimes and shit, putting all the pieces together. Yeah, hit that like button. How about that? Hit that like button. We're gonna get this Cash App shit popping early too. I want to hear them things going off. Why not? I'm back in New York, y'all. You feel me? I got a whole different energy when I'm in the city. So I'm back in NY. We fly out of here tomorrow and we're gonna hit Vegas. It's snowing in Vegas, y'all. You feel me? It's motherfucking snowing in Vegas. All right, so let me do the necessary announcements and everything. Open up this the show with the necessary announcements. You dig? The 6th annual Kemet in the Desert Black Weekend 2019 is going down. All right. And this shit is jumping off on Thursday, February 21st. Our brother Jabari Asozi. I don't want to jack the name up. But our brother Jabari, Jabari from Black News 102, right? Sinetta Studios fame. Okay, the Warrior Scholar, brother Jabari, he will be setting it off on Thursday, February 21st. All right. And this is taking place at the West Las Vegas Library Theater. You dig what I'm saying? And then me and Red, we're going to be doing our 1-2 thing on the 22nd. That's 222, February 22nd. All right. We're going to be doing a damn thing. It would be good if they had the timing on these flyers. Let me see. I think jumps off at 6:00 or something like that. Okay. So we're gonna be in the building, the West Las Vegas Library Theater, 951 Westlake Mead. Okay. So that's February 21st to the 23rd, but we're gonna be rocking out on the 22nd. So make your way to the desert. I've been saying in my captions for the longest that we was gonna bring the water to the desert. You feel me? I didn't have that in mind in particular, that we was going to be responsible for actually snowing in Vegas, which is an anomaly, but it doesn't really strike me as, that's not really that weird to me, because I've been multiple places that we have delivered our lectures. We're followed, either preceded by the snow or followed by the snow. Like when we did our lecture in January of it was either 2015 or 2016, up in Boston, January 23rd. That was the day, I believe. And we started that. It was a double header lecture. It was a 2-day lecture. It was a series called Win in Rome. Law 44 presents Win in Rome. And we went up there and we started that particular series. And it started snowing unexpectedly and it never stopped. Like it snowed for a month straight. In Boston, they call it the snowpocalypse. You dig what I'm saying? Now, the deity that governs snow is Obatala. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna tell you which one of us, but that's one of our, prevailing deities. So it's very interesting when these things take place, these anomalies. But that's taking place as we speak. It's going to be snowing again in Vegas on Thursday. Once we get out there, we in the building. We got a meet and greet. I got to pull that up. You know what I'm saying? We got a meet and greet because the people have been excited about that. And the lady who we participating with, she's excited about that. And I'm excited for her. And I'm excited for the community as well. So we're going to be at the at African Traditions, right? And it's called a intellectual Q&A. Let's talk about it. That's going to take place on February 21st, 2019. All right. No, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. All right. So that's going to be at African Traditions. I don't have the address of African Traditions in front of me. All right. But I'm going to pull it up. And it says that it's 900 South Valley View Boulevard, Suite 110, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89107. I repeat that, 900 South Valley View Boulevard, Suite 110, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89107. Okay, and that's going to be from the hours of 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Intellectual Q&A at African Traditions, featuring the Red and the Blue Pill. Okay, so we're going to be in the building doing the Q&A meet and greet on Thursday. All right, and then we're going to be ushered over to the venue to catch the end of Jabari's dissertation. And then Friday, me and Red is doing the damn thing. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, we got heat. You know what I'm saying? We got heat. So definitely want to be in the building. If you are in the area, if you're in the West Coast, you know what I mean? It's not too far from LA. Come through. You know what I'm saying? Trek across the desert. And we bringing that water to the desert, but we bringing that heat as well. So definitely want to be there. All right. There's some other things going on. Smoke and Grow Rich tour. All right, shout out to my comrades, Destiny Grind. All right, brother Tariq, brother Jahudi. Okay, Smoke and Grow Rich tour. We have not a commercial, but we have a first part of a podcast that we did over here on Know the Ledge Radio. You could look at that or right over here, Know the Ledge Media. Dig what I'm saying? Check us out. There's a 15-minute podcast up there. And it pretty much gets up, it gets into all of the details about this upcoming tour that is going to be taking place to Denver, Colorado. And this particular tour is dealing with all of the particulars around the cannabis industry, all of the questions that you have, sitting you down with the people who are responsible for creating the legislators, right? These are the people who have created the legislation. So legislators from different states that are going to be legalizing, right, the cannabis plants or the cannabis industry in their state, they come and sit at the feet of these individuals to get the game about how to create the framework in their state for the cannabis industry. Okay, so we want to bring you to meet these big wigs and sit down and get the game necessary that you need, all right, to propel you into the driver's seat so you can play in this $21 billion industry and not be left on the sidelines boo-hooing about melanated people, right, catching all of the motherfucking brunt and the weight of the charges that come with illegal possession from, having the cannabis plant. So allow us to help you to get out of that permanent underclass of consumerism and finally step up to the motherfucking plate and hit a home run once and for all, right? This is like prohibition all over again. And we double emphasize this is not a direct endorsement of the cannabis industry. Please take in mind as well that CBD is at play and the hemp industry is megalithic, right? So, right, CBDs, which is the medicinal aspect of the plant, right, has many medicinal uses. And also hemp has 300 industrial uses. Okay. 300 industrial uses. I posted an article the other day with Steve Bannon, okay, saying, look, they had advanced a proposal where they want to build a portion of Trump's wall out of hempcrete. You dig what I'm saying? So going back to this whole agricultural aspect of who and what our people are, we always talking about, we always invoking the ancestors. We always speaking about what's owed us and what's this and what's that. This country was built on the back of our ancestors. But what do we mean by that? Our ancestors were agriculturists. Our ancestors were responsible for tilling those fields. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors did not always till those fields under threat, duress, and coercion. All right. They were also people who they did that for a livelihood, and they continue to do that even after being under that level of servitude, right? Because we do it naturally, but for some reason, somehow, some way, we have abandoned that, you know what I'm saying, in exchange for being consumers and going into grocery stores. And we have already seen very recently, matter of fact, you know what I'm saying, what comes with the threat of the food supply chain being cut off, you know what I'm saying? And us being totally shit out of luck. We just seen with the government shutdown what it looks like when people are unable to do for self and they have to be dependent on a government that doesn't give two shits about them, right? So you talking about Gucci and all of these other people that's middle fingering you, in public. That shit is a direct response of the dog whistles that they're getting from this administration to say it's open season. We could let them know exactly how we feel. Why? Because the president has done it and got away with it on behalf of white America, right? With little to no pushback or rebuttals. I mean, niggas is in their feelings, but niggas is always in their feelings. What's new? Right? Now they're giving you something to talk about. So, what else do we have? You know what I'm saying? What else can you produce in the form of smoke? This a tangible counter to you having your feelings hurt. You can boss up. You can do for self. You can create your own. You can take advantage, all right, of the alley-oops that are being thrown your way. And we can remove ourselves from the permanent underclass position of being just consumers from now until perpetuity. Like, there's a lot that's being exposed. I mean, there's so much going on. And the majority of what we see is just this continuation, this reiteration of our inability to remove ourselves from a dependency on branding, you know what I'm saying, internally and externally. But there are opportunities that are bound. You know what I'm saying? There are many things that are afforded to you at this particular time. If you can just deflect from the sensibilities of victimhood and say, look, this shit is, what do I need this for? You know what I'm saying? Like, the farm bill is passed. You know what I'm saying? Cryptocurrency is popping. There really is like a utopian aspect of the future that's dawning right in front of us. If we would only open our eyes and get out of our own way, there's a utopian aspect that's really dawning in front of us. You dig what I'm saying? And the majority of these conversations that we've been having, these consistent conversations, is about rearranging and reframing your minds to reorient your vision and your sight to look towards those things rather than the distractions. All right. So I don't want to talk you to death. You feel me? What I do want to do is I want to open up the line for tonight's guest. You know what I'm saying? The man of the hour. This brother needs no introduction, but if you are new to the program and you're just tuning in, this is my brother. All right. It's my brother Ken Brisbon. Okay. And I will allow him to follow through with the rest of his introductions. Peace, love, and light, my brother. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me, bro? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you though. We going live.
Okay, shit. What I gotta do?
There should be an icon in your left hand corner that says it should look like video.
All right, I see one that says audio, one that says audio. And let me see. I hit the audio button. Let me see more. Disconnect audio.
Nah, you're looking for something that says video.
Yeah, no, nothing says it. I don't even have an icon. I can see you though.
Okay. You don't
Yeah, I
have
can
that.
see you.
You don't have that icon, right? The
No,
icon is available.
no, in the left hand corner, it just shows audio.
All right, we're gonna flow with the energy. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Family that's out there, we got this Virgo new moon that's in the building. You know, and it's a super moon. You know what I'm saying? It's the closest that the moon is gonna be all year. You feel me? So it's dealing with this level of illumination. You know, let's read a little bit about what it's about real quick.
Yeah, hell yeah. I love where you was going too, bro. About yeah.
Okay.
I was vibing with you, man.
February supermoon falls in Virgo and will be the nearest, biggest, and brightest full moon of the year. This powerful full moon energy will help guide and encourage you to work through your fears, let go of anything that no longer serves you, and live your life with an open mind and heart. This supermoon in Virgo will bring a major shift in our energy that helps us to break free from harm, release the past, heal old emotional wounds, and move forward. We will be pulling away from anything causing us to feel we have to constantly prove our worth. We'll be refusing to play roles in other people's critical stories, and we will be walking away from dynamics with unrealistic high expectations. To move forward, we must heal old perfectionism wounds and love and accept our perfectly flawed, unique selves exactly as we are. Self-care has to be prioritized, and sometimes this means doing whatever we have to in order to protect our sanity and peace without feeling guilty. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, fuck Gucci, Burberry, Louis, all of these things that you feel, are non-serving. Like if somebody even attempts to play with you like that, you dig what I'm saying? Like, why would you even have to second guess what your responses? You know what I mean? But obviously they're exposing the emperor has no clothes. You know what I'm saying? Ironically enough, because why is it necessary that we have to continuously layer ourselves with multiple layers, to bring value to ourselves when your melanin is supposed to be popping? What happened to your melanin popping? You're supposed to be out here butt ass. Like, don't you have a gift that you're supposed to be showing to the world? Why are you covering that thing up? You feel me? So it's an opportune time for you to get in your bag, family. They're giving you the push. I don't see no adversaries. I only see the universe pushing us to our utopia. That's all I see. Right? You got to get rid of this shit. And the shit is the useless weight. The designer got to go. You know what I mean? Like, we could do for self. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to throw some raw Oma on. Come out here and be moonwalking. So I want to say welcome brother.
Yes,
You were backed by popular demand.
for
You know what
sure.
I'm saying that people have been asking for this.
Okay, great.
It was definitely something that was appreciated and much needed. You know what I'm saying? I think that Dr. York be saying, you know, you got to get the people what they need in order to get the people what they want.
Right,
Is it the other way around?
right. I got it. I got the gist.
And
I got.
yes, wait, let me. I need to preference this because this reminded me of something that I didn't get a chance to do. I do want to send a resounding rest in peace to a young brother, you know what I'm saying, who I had the honor of knowing and meeting via these platforms, a young brother by the name of Huhika. Uh Young brother, 26 years old, a father of three, made his ascension on February 14th, from what I understand. You know, I don't want to say untimely because that's not on me to say. You understand?
Mhm.
I'm just in the audience. I'm a witness. I have no idea what's going on. I just know that the brother had some very good energy every time that I encountered him, and he had a passion that is reminiscent. You know what I'm saying? He represented, or he was amongst a flock of young energy that came into the community, and they wanted to assert themselves in a way in which was somewhat very admirable. Um, and it has a gift and a curse aspect to it as well. But I appreciated seeing this young man grow. You know what I mean? And he's no longer here, but his information is still with us. The memories are still here, and he has left behind children. His legacy continues to be carried on, through these young vessels. So I want to send that brother peace, love, and light to him,
Right.
to his family, from those who have resonated with his information and his message, for those who will come across his information and his message. And yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. So Boo, man, um, again, pardon my tardy. I had to slam a little one down. That was wrestling with the kid for a minute. So, you
So
know,
good.
daddy duty. But I came in and I kind of just heard you. If I could theme it, would I would you agree that what you were talking about is a collective self-esteem?
Absolutely.
Okay. Um, Good. And that's a great topic. Confidence and self-esteem, because what these conversations are about is how the people really feel about themselves. And
Absolutely.
I want to stay right there because this is an issue of mental health. This is an issue of people really making their melanin pop. You know what I'm saying? And once you make your melanin pop for real, you're
For
not
real,
gonna
for real.
you're not gonna be triggered by none of these things. And some of the things we have to unlearn, right? Some of our teachers, I don't think did a good service to us because they didn't develop our self-esteem. They developed our self-esteem on the de facto side, but it's fragile though, because once a
Right.
commercial comes on that we don't like,
It dissipates, right.
yeah, it's back to square one.
It
It's back to
dissipates.
it's back to square one. And one way I think that you can develop your self-esteem. And first of all, let me say, hello to everybody. Just
Yes.
getting legs under me.
Let
Thanks
me
for having
right.
that. The
I
way
don't
that you
I don't want to cut your flow. I just want to interject to say that
Mhm.
it's on, like, you can only shine when the sun is out, right? And that's a very key phrase because this whole aspect of Leo and leadership, only when the leaders is around and they're in your good graces do the people shine and feel self-imbued with this energy of importance. But
Mhm.
when the quote unquote leadership has gone astray and they doing whatever they doing, you know what I'm saying? I see the connection and the correlation in the people who also follow as flock. They go astray.
Mhm.
have the self-confidence and they don't believe in themselves, and they're, at the heels of these quote unquote leaders to turn around and give them some more of that light. Pay me attention. Tell me some more of that feel good shit again. Like, where you at with it?
Mm-hmm.
And they getting backhanded like, bitch, fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mm-hmm. Well, man, okay, so look, the way that you develop your self-esteem, now you can't develop a collective self-esteem. I think that ideal right there is in itself is flawed. A collective self-esteem when you're having an individual experience here. The way you came out your mother was an individual experience. Your death is an individual experience. Yes, we all share air, but the movie that you're starring is you're the star. You know what I'm saying? And we've been taught this collective ideal. So if one person's, if 100 people that we don't know feel terrible, we automatically take that on. And that's because you don't have an inheritance, right? So your inheritance kind of sets the tone for your thinking, especially if you have an inheritance that was left by your father or your mother and it came with some instructions. So if they left you land and it came with instructions, or you have a family pedigree or creed, that would kind of set the tone for your ideology. But if you are a person born with no country and you're just out here lonely, then your self-esteem is basically predicated on whatever the matrix does that particular day. And I think I have a solution for that. And a solution is you need something of your own. You need something that's yours, okay? And when you have something that's yours and something that's your own, you have a reason to wake up today. Now, I'm not talking just about a job. I'm talking about something that is yours that people are depending on you to do, okay? That maybe that's a mission, maybe that's your talent, or in some cases it can be a job, and then you may develop something stronger and more firm for that from there. But when you have something that's yours and that no one can rob you of, then you have the confidence of a Gucci or a Prada. You might have $10 in your pocket, but you feel like $1 billion company because what you're doing is yours. It is yours, man. You didn't get it from the culture because it can be robbed from you and it can be taken. This
is valued, right?
Yes, sir. The thing that's yours, man, you can do it anywhere in the world, right? You could go to China and do it. You go to Africa and do it. You go to America and do it. It doesn't matter what's going on in the country. It doesn't matter what the inflation rate is. It doesn't matter if we're on the dollar system or we're going by card or the gold standard. That's yours. You'll be able to do that as long as the damn world don't collapse. That's yours. And the problem is the people don't have a thing. They have a collective thing, and that's woke. You know what I'm saying? They have a collective thing of, collective language, white supremacy, calcified pineal gland. Those are collective vocabulary, but right. There's no individual vocabulary to strengthen the particular person. And I'm telling you, Blue, if the people get something that's theirs, that's independent of culture, man, they won't feel the way they feel, bro. They won't feel so hollow. They won't feel so broken. They won't feel like they're being picked on because you feel responsible for doing something. You need a mission. You need purpose. I don't know about none of those things until I hear people talk, bro, because I have my thing. And I didn't always have a thing. It took me a while to get my thing. And sometimes I jumped around. Sometimes I stuck with something for 5 days, and then other times it was 5 months. And then I figured out it wasn't for me. But I put all my focus on finding a thing that I can call mine. Like, what am I about to do the rest of my life? Right? And as you know, as a creative, these days you need all your energy, right?
Facts.
You need all your attention, right? So if you focus on Gucci or brands or blackface, if you focus on that, then you would be expiring, correct? Mm-hmm. Because you're not inspired, right? See, when you're doing your thing, you're inspired, right? When you're focused on Gucci or these brands, you are expiring. Now, things that we see expire, we see food expire. We come in and we see molded bread. It's expiring. It's no good. right? We want
Right.
inspiration. So, and that's the best thing that I can say for people that are, you know, in a weird space right now, trying to decipher what this matrix is, and yo, they're disrespecting us, and yo, you know, it's only a us when it's dealing with disrespect. It's only a us. It's only a we when there's problems.
How about that?
That's an issue. You know what I'm saying? There's never any brotherhood and prosperity. When everybody gets their income tax, there's not going to be a we. There's not going to be a us.
How about that?
You know what I'm saying?
That's when shit get real personal, huh?
Man, it's going to get
Gotta
real
get
individual.
mines.
Yo, I'm doing me. Yo, I'm doing me.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And that's fine until the next kid is shot by police, and then they're killing our children. They're killing our brother, right? So you can't build anything substantial on pain, because that's expiration, right? So I'm just saying, keep the same energy. While everybody goes through their income tax, everybody's going to get real individual, focus on themselves, which is fine. Keep that same energy year round, though. And don't tag me in when it's time to hurt, because I'm too busy on a mission, right? And if that brother or sister does not participate in that particular collective mission, yo, don't fault them. Don't fault them, because you need people to go be the next Einstein. You need people to be the next Quincy Jones. Somebody has to do it, right?
Somebody.
So yeah, I just wanted to build on that. When I came in, heard you talking, caught my ear.
Oh, yes, indeed. They're asking for the Cash App early, bro.
Kenny Briz, $ Kenny Briz, BRIS,
Yes,
Kenny
indeed.
Briz. But yeah, man,
right.
that's real important. And
like,
I just want to offer people some courage, though. I want to offer people some courage to go in that direction, because Blue, peer pressure is real, and the collective consciousness bullying is real. And a lot of people are not on their mission because of they're being bullied. Their thoughts is being bullied. If they have a opposing opinion that goes against culture, somehow they're going to find themselves on the outs. And who wants to get dragged by Black Twitter, right? Who wants to be called an agent? Who wants to be called a coon? So you fall in line, right? But what I'm telling you is, man, they're on the other side of your fear, man, is glory, and go and chase that mission. And you have a right, man. Born alone, die alone. You have to figure out why you came to this planet. And it's either to be a pawn of the matrix, and you are involved in the science experiment, or you're going to be the scientist conducting the experiment. So you have to choose where you want to land with this game. And I suggest go on the other side of your fear. And I suggest, allow your hands and feet to be productive, and go where your heart is at, man. Go where your heart is at.
That's some powerful words, bro. Like in the mornings, I wake up, and even if I'm chasing 44s, that's all me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me. That's my mission. It invigorates me daily. I'm able to make a certain level of connections, and believe it or not, it reinforces my purpose, because even if in my own mind, it makes me quote unquote believe that I'm getting closer and closer to quote unquote God. Guess what? That's what keeps me going. You feel me? For some people, it might be their pursuit of a 6-pack. You know what I'm saying? For some people, it might be the perfect finger roll. You know what I'm saying? For some people, it might be a 4.0 GPA. You dig what I'm saying? And the list goes on and on. But whatever that thing is, make it your thing. You know what I'm saying? You perfect it, then you bring it outside and you share it with the collective, not because they reinforce your thing or determine your thing, but maybe you're looking to connect with other people that might have an interest in that thing as well, or to inspire others to go and get their thing. You know what I'm saying? Where no thing exists. I seen Meek Mill, right, shoot a 3-pointer from the sidelines at the All-Star game. Now, to some people, that might not mean anything. They be like, okay, niggas could shoot, great.
Nah, his jumper's trash, but go ahead. That's not his thing. That ain't his thing.
That might not be his thing, but that was his thing.
Right.
That moment when he was under pressure and he was doubted and he put that bread up. To me, it was almost synonymous of his thing, though, is rising when he's doubt, under the shade of doubt, under the weight of doubt, him rising to the occasion. That seems to be his thing. You know what I'm saying? That seems to be his thing. His thing seems to be proving people wrong. That seems to be his thing. So just to watch somebody in their thing, in their moment, right, reinforcing this ethos of champions and championships, you know what I mean? Where we can look at these individuals and see wins and losses, right? These are all titles of his albums, mind you. You feel me? It's reinforcing for a child that might come from that same environment, you know what I mean, to know that underneath the dirty braids, underneath, you know what I'm saying, the all of the things that are discouraging about those environments, underneath that all, when you dust it off, there's a Meek Mill. You understand? And once again, as shallow as that example might seem, it's monumental for people who understand it. You understand what I'm saying? So I just thought that was profound for what it was. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes it might be that subtle, it might be that small.
I mean, bro, we don't really have any roses in the concrete anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's, and it goes back to our conversation last week. The cultural genius, the genius inside of the culture is lacking. And maybe people may not understand what I mean when I say find your thing, because they think everything is together. No, it is not. Einstein was Einstein. Andrew Carnegie is Andrew Carnegie. W.E.B. Du Bois is W.E.B. Du Bois. Yes, people do come together for collective ideals. That happens. Your biggest and brightest come together to get a job done, where you bring your individual talents and you form Voltron for one ideal. I'm not talking about that. See, that's a mission, that's a reason. These reasons that the culture comes together is a waste of time. It doesn't build anything. You understand? It's not rooted in any resources. It's not rooted in any purpose, right? There's never a return on investment, because the reason that the people are coming together, Blue, is not for any addition. It's for tear down. And that doesn't take skills.
It's for canceling. It's for subtraction.
Yeah, it's for canceling. So I say, until the people have a definitive mission, then work on your individual goals. Now, if you have a definitive mission and you're like, you know what, we're going to get in the steel business. Oh, wow, that matters, because we see what steel can do. If you're like, you know what, we want to get in, what's the devices that take air and convert it into energy? Windmills? Yeah, we want to get into that business. Now, if you've been up and down California, you see the power of windmills. You see farmers accessing energy from windmills. I think that's a great project to get behind. Or some type of natural gas. Yes, some type of engineering where it's going to take people's minds and people's finances and people's labor for the next 5 years. See, that's bigger than you. That means something to me. But unless it's that, I think people should stay separate and work on their own individual genius, or everybody's going to be tripping over the shoestrings. And the matrix cannot make you come together. If the matrix has to unite you, then you're standing on quicksand. Because if the matrix unites you, the matrix also controls the outcome. Isn't that problem, reaction, solution?
Facts.
Isn't that Hegelian dialectic? Same thing, because the matrix brought you together. You guys didn't come together for your own common values, your own belief system. Fear, that's what it is. Fear brought you together. So instead of that, I say work on your own individual talent. Okay. And it's very important right now because the culture is lacking that. With IG and with all the social media, every now and then you'll see a bright spot in the culture. Every now and then you'll see a video go viral of this kid that's amazing on the drums, or you'll see a young scientist create some shit, or you'll see a new painter every now and then, bro. But for the most part, it's bullshit, sadly. And I understand. I know why though. It's because the people are coming together, draining each other collectively. It's only the shade. It's only the cancel. And like I said, last week, cancel culture, it devolves the human. It turns you into something else. So until you find a group of people that mirror your genius, not your dysfunction. Don't unite in dysfunction. But until you encounter people that mirror your genius,
Right.
there's nothing wrong with staying solo. And don't tell me what the ancestors did if you can't name them. If you can't give those ancestors a name, don't tell me what they did, because now you're just throwing shit out there.
These ambiguous terms.
Yeah. The ancestors. Who is that? Who the fuck is that? Who's
your
that?
ancestor cannot be an ancestor if you don't call your ancestor's name. So it's an oxymoron to just continuously say the ancestors, like you continuously would say the people. Like, who's the people? That's a very broad, ambiguous term that has no definitive character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see that right there be blowing my high when the ancestors. I'm like, who is that?
Allow anyone to speak about Black Wall Street if you can't tell me one of the names of the businesses and at least two of the business people and one of the ancestors who made transition, so we could evoke them and make sure that they still have presence in the now. Right? Call them forth. Okay.
The first time I seen that done, it was done by Bobby Hemp. And I was this is close to 20 years ago. And for at least 15 minutes straight, Bobby called out names.
Absolutely.
Bobby called out hundreds of names in pouring but he didn't say the ancestors, bro. He called their name out. Names I've never even heard. So,
fact.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think if you're gonna reference the past and say the ancestors, because the thing about it, those of European descent that's into history, they're not gonna say the ancestors. They're gonna say Isaac Newton. They're gonna say Michael Faraday. They're gonna say Copernicus. They're gonna say Galileo. They're gonna say Fibonacci.
Every time.
You know?
To this day.
So yeah, the Gucci thing, man. We could casket that shit, because that is a self-esteem thing. Now, and I'll never tell a man or a woman what they should care or not care about. That's your business. You have a right to care about that, but just know that some things bring a return on investment and some things don't. So if you're okay with that, you know what I'm saying? If you're okay with your energy not bringing a return on investment, yo, I can't tell you not to go down that street. That's your money. Do you? But for me and my house, no, sir. No, sir. And that whole idea was a casket to me. All that's a casket, because it doesn't go nowhere, bro. And it's just keeping the people in a state of immaturity, pain, hurt, dysfunction, fear. When it really is, you really want to hug from your father. You really want to hug from your mother. You didn't get the attention that you deserve as a child. You didn't make the basketball team or the cheerleader team. You're a late bloomer. You didn't have much money. You never fucked the girl you wanted, never got the guy you wanted, never got the car you wanted. Come on, like all these things we could go in the collective subconscious mind. has nothing to do with Gucci. It's deeper than that shit. But Gucci is just the scapegoat for internal issues that people haven't dealt with. Call a spade a spade.
Right. It's once again, like I said, it was the very thing that was layering and covering those insecurities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the threat of the emperor being naked is something that makes the emperor very uncomfortable.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So you're gonna see a lot of different responses to people who are looking to uncloak the emperor. Like, nah, can't get this up. You know what I'm saying? This is what I cover my scars with. This is how I hide my insecurities. So why not have a national referendum to deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Why not have a hug out day? Why not have a I love you day? You know, why are we not taking a day out of this particular quote unquote Black History Month to add on 100 name of the quote unquote ancestors?
You know what? I don't think the people want to be well. Let me say that. I don't. And the reason why I'll say that, Blue, is because it comes with accountability if you're healed. See, if you heal, now you got to be accountable now because there's an expectation of you, right? Do you know why a lot of people, I think, run away from being a winner and running away from taking the next step and getting over the hump, Blue? Is because now there's an expectation of your life. So you win that first championship, it changes the nature of your organization. You make the playoffs, right? You show that you have the ability to go to the next level. Now people expect things from you.
Yes.
Right? It's hard to be a winner because now you have to train now to be that. When you have a losing culture, no one expects shit from you, bro. You get a pass. Oh, and there's always a reason when you win. The people with the most pressure on their shoulders are the people with a history of winning. You know, you have a record that goes platinum. You feel me? Now they want that reasonable doubt. They want that illmatic. You feel me? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They want that Wu-Tang forever. You feel me?
Right. Expectation is always on the winners to win.
Yeah. But see, the thing about it is when you come from a culture of failure, right? You don't gotta win because guess what, my nigga? White supremacy, you know, eugenics, school to prison pipeline. I've been marginalized. So you safe. Ain't no pressure on you. You feel me? So I got time when Gucci comes out. Look who's complaining. It's those that come from a culture of failure. That's why no one has surpassed Malcolm or Garvey or Elijah or these people because they took the bullets, some literally, right? They did the hard shit. So as long as they did the hard shit, people could just name drop all day, right?
Right. I mean, when one is positioned right in an existence that is, you know, under the Jesus Christ of narrative, as our brother Buddha Clinks loves to say, you know what I'm saying? If someone positions themselves as a messianic force, you know, they sacrifice for the people. So Christianity has already conditioned the people to say, oh, Jesus died for our sins. You know what I'm saying? Only thing we got to do is make it through. And we Gucci, pun intended, when we get to the other side. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, do you think that level of condition is also something that is saying, you know, if you were growed up, if you was grewed up on these stories about how Malcolm died for the people, Martin died for the people, Garvey sacrificed for the people, is it something in the subconscious that's kicking in and saying, oh, well, shit. Well, if they already, you know, if they already got on the cross shit sound crowded. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing left of me to do but to be a good Christian. And I could be very sinful because Jesus died for my sins. So what's left of that?
I got an answer for that. Well, look, check it out. Let's reword it First of all, no messianic figure ever died for the people. Messianic figures, they died for themselves, conquering death. They rose above death. Malcolm X didn't die for the people. He died for his own legacy. He conquered his own death. Martin Luther King conquered his own fear. Even the archetype of Jesus, being Christ risen, he conquered his own death. That's not for the people, because guess what? Guess what happens the next day? Nothing. What changed? Nothing. That was for them. When you're a messianic figure, it's not for the people. It's for you. It's so you can become a legend. That's for you. Throughout the world, there's these same figures. You know, when you're watching Braveheart, William Wallace character is supposed to be a messianic figure. Yes, it does inspire. That's what it does. It inspires. But what does it inspire the people to do? To carry their own cross. You're not going to carry his, you're going to carry your own. So you can live forever. Don't you want to be one of the stars? Don't you want to go on Mount Rushmore? But the way the messianic concept is taught to the people that now you don't have to do anything because someone already did shit. No, Elijah's Elijah. He's a legend by himself. He ain't died for the people. Malcolm ain't died for the people. Malcolm's name is in stone. You can't take that. That's his legacy. That's him conquering fear. That's him becoming God among mortal men. A Joan of Arc. You know, did Joan of Arc die for the people? No, she did not. She died for herself. She conquered her own death. Now her name lives on, right? So that's the misconception of the messianic figure. And what it does is it dumbs people down, kind of conditioning people not to carry their own cross. You must carry your own cross in this life. It is your responsibility to exist in the stars. That's on you. Because guess what? Over 60 million people die every single year. 60, boo. 60 million people die every year. In fact, I don't know if you can do your screen. Do you remember that site, Worldometers, I showed you before?
Yeah.
We can find out how many people have died so far this year.
Worldometers?
Worldometers.info.
Okay.
Right? This site will tell you up-to-date number based on a supercomputer of what's going on in the world. How many people are being born right now? How many people are dying right now? Right? So you see that no one is special. Death is happening very, very quick. But the point about it is 60 million people died last year. 60. How many of them became messianic? How many of them cheated death? How many of them belong in the stars? Not many. Many of them, I'm sure, die waiting for an answer. You can't go out like that. You know what I'm saying? So if we change the ideal of the messianic figure, then maybe that'll empower the people. Maybe that'll empower men to get up if you wanted to work out. You know what is an inspiring documentary, bro? Watching Arnold Schwarzenegger pump iron. Like, this dude wanted it, right? So I was very inspired by that. Not to be a bodybuilder, but like, goddamn, here's a person that wanted it. And I take inspiration from a lot of people, gymnasts, book writers, J.K. Rowling. It doesn't matter, because I know I'm in charge of my own story. Me. Mm-hmm. I'm in charge of my messianic story, bro.
Let me bring the stats up real quick.
Okay.
So, we don't lose steam on that. Just real quick.
Uh-oh, you got the numbers. Worldometers.info, baby. This is an up-to-date algorithm. The supercomputer is telling you what's going on today.
In real time.
In real time. So, Blue, tell me how many people died this year.
We are already at 8 million deaths this year.
Wow.
Right? This year. To this date.
To this day, worldwide.
161,000 today alone.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Balanced out only by, oh, okay, shit. Well, something to rejoice about. There's been 19 million births this year.
Mm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
extraordinary.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so Blue, so there have been 19 million births this year, right?
Yes.
Now, I think it would be wise with that many people coming into the planet. Where's your kid gonna work? How's your child gonna get money? Right? So this is the problem when we focus on something like a Gucci's, right? I'm all about the numbers. So Worldometer is a site that I like to visit often, and it's a reality check, right? Or some of the numbers that they're talking about. Because 19 million people have been born this year. I have a 10-year-old. What does the marketplace look like for my 10-year-old when he's 30?
Mm.
What is he gonna do with his life? Right? I think about this. What's the market look like?
Right.
I don't think it's wise to send my son to school for gender studies.
When the rappers talk about running up a bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see the public health care expenditures for today? You see this running up of a bag? How does it compare? You know, there's real shit going on in the world, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Real.
Scroll down a little bit, bro. Read some of them numbers. Maybe people don't know the numbers about what the bag really looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, read some of these numbers about the bag.
Cars produced this year. 10 million cars. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of fatty that they expect to
Right.
35 million computers produced this year. I just bought a new one today. That's why I'm able to get these crisp visuals through, you know what I'm saying?
And we're only in March. We're only in March, though.
Not in March yet. On our way, right? 4 billion internet users in the world today. 4 billion, right? Out of how many people in the world?
They say 7. What does this number say up there?
7.6.
So
out of
half
7.
Half the world is hooked up to the net.
Half the world, more than half.
So what are you selling online? If half the world is online and you on your internet experience is dealing with Gucci, are you cheating yourself in the marketplace because it's e-commerce? E-commerce by 2021 will be a $77 billion business. So if half the world is online, how could we have a conversation about Gucci? We are ruining our opportunity to participate in e-commerce. But continue.
They're embarking on $500,000 spent today alone on video games. Okay.
Wow.
I don't know anybody personally that owns or creates video games, but $500,000 has been spent just today alone on video games. You know what I'm saying? Upwards to 500 million emails have been sent today. I don't think too many of them were centered around Gucci though. I really doubt it. That shit was dealing with tweets, of which there has been 1 million sent out today. Right? There's been 13 million Google searches today. Right? About 5 million of them probably was about who Karl Lagerfeld was. People was like, why is that shit on my timeline? Anyway, environment. 700,000 acres or hectares lost, right, from forest fire this year alone. And this is only mid-February, and it's the winter months. Or not forest fire, but forest loss this year. So this could be agricultural. This could be the cattle farming. You know what I'm saying? This could be to a lot of other things, right? Land loss, soil erosion, right? Going into millions. Okay. Desertification, death certification this year. So how much of the hectares have turned into desert, dried up, right? Going into a million.
Look at these
Toxic
numbers.
chemicals released in the environment this year in terms of tons. Already 1.3 million tons, 1.3 million tons of toxic chemicals have been released into the environment this year, right? The Zorb.org.com. Thezorb.com. Get your diodes. Okay. Get your diodes. You could use Blue Pill as your coupon at the checkout and get a sizable discount. This is for cell phone radiation. You feel me?
And wait, Blue, before you finish, for anybody that doesn't believe this, the way that you find out if something true or not, how many people you know heard it. That's my measure to tell me if something is true or not. This is a site that I've been going through for the last 4 years, and I never meet anybody that goes to the site. These numbers are based on supercomputers, and they
Facts.
go off algorithms, right?
Facts.
This is how I know how many people die every single year.
All right. Now, this is interesting here. Food. 834 million undernourished people in the world today. 834 million undernourished people in the world today.
Hmm.
1.6 billion overweight people in the world today.
Wow.
724 million obese people in the world,
Wow.
right?
Hmm.
That is more than twice the population of the United States. How many people is in the United States?
They say 300, roughly 300 million.
300 million. So that's a little bit twice the size of the United States is, the amount of obese people in the world. Just take that into perspective. 135 people died of hunger today. You know what I'm saying? $2.4 million was spent for obesity related disease in the USA just today. Okay. But $870,000 was spent on weight loss programs in the USA today. So when Dame Dash says that he's boss, this is boss talk, right? And that's supposed to be a conversation that orients aspiring entrepreneurs towards the black dollar. You dig what I'm saying? How many melanated people do you know have weight loss programs that are generating a sizable portion out of the 949 or $50 million that has been spent today just alone on weight loss programs, right? Weight Watchers can't get all of that bread,
Hmm.
right? Water, 1 billion liters, right, of water has been consumed this year. Okay, 115,000 deaths have been caused by water-related disease this year. 867 million people have no access to safe drinking water. 867 million people with no access to safe drinking water. So now this is not to take any shots at Flint. You dig what I'm saying? But, and I have agreed myself to say, look, there's certain things that I need to expand my knowledge based on. So I have to travel. I have to go to certain regions to really get an understanding, before I talk about things that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So there are places on this planet where people that look like us, right, who would fit into that category of what you call the people. Because once again, I said that's a very ambiguous term. And if you want to lump all quote unquote black people together, which is another very ambiguous term, then that's inclusive of sub-Saharan Africans and people in other regions where they have no access to safe drinking water. You dig what I'm saying? So while it's in our ability, for the most part, maybe to do something about Flint, what about the other 800 million people on the planet with no safe drinking water, presumably of which maybe 600 million of them fit into the category of who you call the people?
So again, so that Gucci conversation, what kind of conversation is that?
I mean, if somebody can afford $800 shoes, but there's 800 million on the people on the planet to this date right now with no clean drinking water, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think that that person should be part of this conversation.
So let me ask this question. So if I was one of the people that, what's the number? 800 million that doesn't have access to clean drinking water.
800 million.
If you and I were in that number, how would we view the person that is getting uptight about Gucci?
As a fucking pompous, right? Rich European or rich nigga.
So is it fair to say that those
that's your black privilege?
So if you actually are uptight and offended by Gucci, you're part of the problem.
Part of the problem.
In the big scheme of things.
Exactly. You're exposing yourself. It's part of the problem.
Yeah, continue, bro, because this is going to show some interesting things. And I'm glad people are on the site so they can see the numbers. You need to see the numbers.
For themselves.
For yourself. Right.
Right. Energy. Presumably 3 million, what is this, megawatts? Okay, and they got sources in it. They got receipts.
They got receipts.
Niggas, they got receipts. You know, I'm presuming that this is megawatts. You feel me? All right.
How much is a megawatt?
All right, we would have to get KT on. Look, 23 million megawatts of solar energy striking Earth today. Upwards to 800,000 barrels of oil have been pumped today. While there is 1 billion barrels of oil left, right? So presumably you could probably do the numbers to say, well, goddamn, it's probably about 1 million barrels of oil pumped daily with 1 billion left. That's enough of a trajectory to scale to say we can create a model to say when this is going to run out. You know what I'm saying? Hence why you see what you see in Venezuela. That's almost necessary for capitalism to continue. Right? Days to the end of oil, 44 years.
Yo, that's our lifetime, dog.
Okay.
If we live to 90 years old, we will see the end of oil. Now, if we don't believe that, but we always heard the stories of Anunnaki, we always heard stories of different races, right? Bleeding their planet dry of natural resources. Is that true or not?
Facts.
And different beings come to the planet to mine gold because their planet is dying. We seen that in the movie Transformers with Cybertron. We seen that in so many movies where an alien species that is advanced have to flee their planet because of
shit. We seen it in V.
We seen it in what?
We seen it in V.
We seen it in V. We seen it in the Man of Steel movie. Kal-El, his planet died.
Yes. Factoids.
So the end of oil is 44 years
away. Yes. Expect plenty of wars.
Hmm.
Days to the end of natural gas, 58,131.
How many years is that?
We got to crunch that, but that's a little bit more than 44 years because 16,185 days is 44 years. Right. Glad to know that. I needed that stat. Of coal left. All right. There's a considerable amount of coal left. You know, I don't really know how to gauge that. That's inabilities. Oh no, that shit might.
All this is in our lifetime, bro.
Oh yeah. Shit, I might be reading this wrong. That's the trillions. It look like that might be the trillions. Right. 149,300 days to the end of coal. Right. All of this is gaugeable, if not in our lifetimes, definitely our children's lifetime.
So, Blue, let me ask you this. So, okay. So, if you have a kid right now, 44 years, let's talk about your grandchild, right? What does the world look like the end of oil, right? And this is a real conversation because when Claude Anderson talks about the permanent underclass, what situations have to occur to achieve that? Because this is a map. Now, if you and I can read this and this public information, there are people on the earth that are planning 150, 200 years from now.
Facts.
So they're planning a world without coal.
Based on resources.
Based on right. So they're planning a world without natural gas. They're planning a world without coal. They're planning a world without oil. Who's part of that plan though? Because for this to happen, lives are going to change. I'll be 70 some years old.
Facts.
I'll be 70 some years old, my dude. 76 years old in 44 years. Oh, okay. So what are we talking about here when we talking about Gucci? Who's that a conversation for? And again, just like last week, we would have to question the intellect of the people because you are part of the problem if that's what you care about. Now you can care about anything you want, but if that offended you, how did that offend you when you have access to clean water?
Talk about it.
You have access to clean water.
You got access to clean water. You feel me? You are not one of
800
million people on the planet who don't have access to clean water. What are you doing with your access, with your privilege? Nigga. So, health. 1 million communicable diseases this year. Right, 1.7. 1 million deaths of children under 5 this year. This is very staggering, this next statistic, because this is just February leading into March. And yet 5.7 million abortions this year. Now we're talking globally. That's crazy. 42,000 deaths of mothers during birth this year.
Wow.
Staggering statistic that is affecting melanated women in particular. I'm going to be doing a program on this about Atlanta specifically. Right? And this is unnecessary. 40.6 million people infected with HIV/AIDS. 230,000 deaths caused by AIDS this year.
Mm.
1.1 million deaths caused by cancer this year. 134,000 deaths caused by malaria this year. There has been 201 million cigarettes smoked just today.
Yeah. 200 million.
Do you know any melanated people that sell tobacco?
No, I do not. But I know some smokers though.
Yeah, I think it would be advantageous at this point
to get in the cigarette business.
you gotta cover both bases. You dig what I'm saying? You gotta cover both bases. You know what I mean? You got that's balance. That's balance. That's balance. You know, maybe we would take a more humane approach towards the manufacturing and packaging of that particular substance. There has been 684,000 deaths caused by smoking this year. There has been 342,000 deaths caused by alcohol this year. There has been 146,000 suicides this year. Right? There has been $54 billion spent on illegal drugs this year. Do you happen to know anybody in the legal drug business? Because I think if not, we Who got the bag? God damn it.
Hey, Blue, take them to this other site because the numbers matter. So let's go to internetlivestats.com. So this site is worldometers.info for people that want to look at the numbers. This is all day. This don't go down. Now we're going to go to Internet Live Stats. Now, Internet Live Stats is important because you spend a lot of time online. Fair. So if you spend a lot of time online, let's look at the up-to-date numbers of what that means and ask yourself, are you using your time wisely online? So let's check this out. This is Internet Live Stats.
All right. 4 billion internet users in the world to this day, right?
So Blue, let me add on to that. So if it's 4 billion internet users in the world and you use your Facebook for personal use, you're undermining yourself. You should be trying to run through as many people as possible, right? Now, why? Because you have a product to sell. You have a YouTube, you have a website, you have a book. So why does your Facebook only have 500 people? Don't use Facebook or the internet for personal use. Don't live on social media, work on social media. So you should be trying to run through as many people as possible. And there's no such thing as promoting too much.
Facts. You know why? Because you have 1.9 billion websites out there that are potentially your competition that potentially might be juggling for the same dollar. Okay? So your competition could potentially exist or consist of 1.9 billion other websites. You feel me? So there's no such thing as over promotion when your competition field consists of 1.9 billion competitors. That's how you should think every single day. And then the gratitude level that comes with you actually connecting with a client or a customer out of 109 billion other potential sharks in the water, you know, you walk away very appreciative, and you should take care and treat your customer or your clients with that level of appreciation, knowing this is the field that you're going up against. How about that?
But my other question too, if it's 1.9 billion websites, which one is yours? For the people in the chat, you should have a website in your government name. In fact, if someone wants to beef with you right now, the best thing that they could do is purchase your family's website in the government name. John Williams, Kerry Washington, whatever your name is. If I don't like you, all I have to do is purchase your government name in .com. Why? Because you're going to need that. Now, as the market changes, you think you're going to still get a paycheck? Of course not. You're going to have to sign into your dashboard to see how many hours you worked, right? What if you can't? And what if you come up with a great business idea and you need to put that in your government name and somebody's holding that? Think about that. If you really want to fuck with somebody, just buy their government name for their website. Just buy their .com. And when they go to register it with GoDaddy or Bluehost or somebody like that, it's going to come up. It's already been taken, but you ain't hear that from me. But anyway, why don't you have a website? You spend time online. 1.9 billion email websites in the world. Which one is yours?
Which one is yours? What's in your wallet? Right? 4.2 billion emails sent today.
Wow.
Right? It's a lot of communication taking place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 109 million Google searches. All right. 104,000 blog posts written today. 12 million tweets sent today.
About what though? Yeah.
1 million photos uploaded today on Instagram.
Selfies.
118 videos viewed today on YouTube.
118 million views.
Yes, 118 million. Right, yes. Right. 2 million Tumblr posts today.
I didn't even think Tumblr was popping still.
I didn't even think Tumblr was still up.
Man, hold on. Read the Facebook users, please.
2.4 billion active Facebook users.
And how many people on the internet?
4.1 billion, of which 2.4 are on Facebook.
Wow.
That's staggering.
Wow.
That's staggering, right? 680 million Google Plus users. For real?
Right.
344 million active Twitter users. Now, you would think that those numbers were interchanged. You would think that there's 680 million Twitter users and 344 million Google Plus users, right? Twitter seems like such a behemoth.
Right, it does.
And it's only 344 million over there, not 2.4 billion like Facebook. Pinterest, 277 million. 5 million Skype calls were made today. 2,200 websites were hacked today. Was yours? Right? 13,000 computers were sold today. 80,000 smartphones were sold today. 8,000 tablets were sold today.
Look at these numbers.
In terms of internet traffic, just today, 113 million gigabytes of internet traffic were generated today. Right? 73,000 megawatts of electricity was used today for the internet. 62,000 tons of CO2 carbon emission was emitted today from the internet.
How about that?
They're not telling you that there's a carbon footprint for the internet. I thought that shit was only coming from cow farts. Anyway.
So how can I worry about Gucci, bro? Look at how many tablets is being sold. Look how many computers is being sold, right? See, this is what I mean when I say that it fucks up the genius when you tap into these things, because you're not going to think about putting together a tablet. You're not going to think about, you know what, how much can I get a tablet manufactured in China? Right? What does 10,000 American dollars look like in China if you go And what kind of business can you do? Again, everybody's going to get income tax. So it's going to be very hard to participate in the marketplace. It's going to be hard to get my coins up if I'm expiring because of Gucci. You need inspiration. Looking at these numbers is inspiration.
Facts.
Because when we was on Worldometers, you see that people don't have clean water. Well, you want to live in America. What do these waters that we get from Costco? What does that look like in Zimbabwe? Can you get these waters over there? Because I'm sure someone will pay you.
Yeah, I mean, we're puritanical. Even me, I go around and tell people, yo, don't drink Dasani. Don't drink Aquafina. Well, goddamn, there's 8. How many we said again?
800 million.
800 million that don't have clean drinking water. They will fuck some Dasani up. So we are bougie in every, you know what I'm saying? Our choices, the position that we find ourselves in, and we're having this conversation in family again, so we can step back and you can see yourself inside of your privilege and maybe have an idea of what our conversations, the shit, the fake nigga outrage, the things that we get flustered about looks like to the rest of the world that looks to us for leadership. It needs us to really get in our bag because they are hurting and they don't have access to the resources. All right. And they will swim across the Atlantic Ocean, okay, just to get a smidget of what you have. And it gives you a better idea of why they get over here and jug the way that they do. Because they don't have access to clean water. Because they don't know what a shower head feels like. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't go to market and buy multiple bottles of X, Y, and Z for the shit to be, you got it so long and so much of it that it's expiring in your cabinet or your fridge. Because you forgot that you had it. Because you was too concerned with the other shit that you went and bought today.
Well, this is the thing, and maybe it could be I'll call it a Negro morality, where a Negro morality is afraid to be the aggressor. A Negro morality kind of looks at the world unrealistically, meaning that the Negro morality doesn't look at the world through a predator and prey lens. It doesn't look at the world through a natural selection lens. And the reason why I'm saying that is because here we are in America, but Negro morality won't allow a group of Black people from here to go colonize nowhere in the world. We have this thing about brother, brother, and sister, sister that stops us from making boss moves. Again, we have access to clean water. Now, what does that look like in terms of getting this clean water, even the most store brand water, right? The Price Chopper, the Shoppers, the Savers, that water. What does that water look like in Mumbai? What does it look like in Kenya? Because this is something that the white man would think about.
It would buy him privilege, right? Because I think about, you know, with the white man, he utilizes white milk. He goes into depressed areas where people are starving, and he pours white milk into the mouths of starving men and women and snatches their babies and does shit like that because he comes with peanut butter and jelly and white milk. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand the level of access he's gained just by feeding people, right? Things that we turn our nose at. But what if we showed up with a ton of water? You know what I'm saying? What sort of privilege would that gain us? What sort of access would that gain us?
Tons, because it's problem solving. Now, we heard the story of Yakub. We hear the story about the European, but one thing we miss is problem solving. Now we're in a position of problem solve because kind of the same environments that the European existed in, the majority of Black American exist in too. The white man was forced to problem solve. The white man had to chase his food, right? When you have to chase your food, it conditions your mind a certain type of way.
Can you
for the moment
expound on that concept for the family?
What, chase your food?
Yeah, as opposed to paint the picture.
Well, okay, so bet. So I'm from Scandinavia. You're from you're
Mozambique.
from yeah, or Ghana, right? Your food grows on trees, bro. You pick your food, right? You're never in conflict about how you're gonna eat. No one ever starves around you,
It's
and
an
you have a
abundance.
favorable environment throughout the year, right? Now, me
Facts.
and my people that live in Denmark, Sweden, right? We chase our food. We have to be calculated to catch our food. We have to set traps to eat.
Trappers, right.
Now, what do you think that is going to do to me psychologically? Okay. I'm not going to be friendly when you and I meet. My mind is about problem solving. You don't have to solve problems because you live in an environment that is favorable for you.
Mm.
If Sheikh Anti Diop is correct in saying that people came out of an ice age, what does that do to you psychologically to where you never see the sun? You have to chase your food. The thing that you're hunting can kill you. Come on now. Now take feelings off of it and just look at it from the intellect perspective. These people are forced to constantly problem solve because they have a problem with their environment. Now, if you're in American ghettos, those same conditions you're in now. You hear, Blue?
Yes.
Where now you can problem solve. Your mama's on welfare, your daddy's a drunk, your brother got killed by a drunk driver with a shootout, your sister is messing with some gangbangers, your environment is crazy. You should be able to produce the same problem solving ability, not only to get you out of that ghetto, but actually to get you in another country where you take over. Now, you don't have to have the same ethics as the European, but think globally though. Instead of thinking always from the loser's perspective, you are a Black American. That puts you in the top 50% of the world. You think you're so oppressed, but when you look globally, you got the most shit, my nigga.
My nigga.
And you can export that. Now, if you don't export that, you can export your number one priority, your number one gross domestic product, which is hip hop culture. So just like in Brazil right now, there are white people down there teaching English. You are a Black American. You could go to Brazil in the favelas and teach hip hop. You could break down the Reasonable Doubt album. You could break down the Ready or Die album. You could teach breakdancing instead of having Asian motherfuckers doing it. You alone are gross domestic product. The reason why I know this is because for America's nigger factory, you're producing billions of dollars. So you damn sure could do that for yourself. But why not think like that though? Why do we think always from a loser's perspective? The Negro morality fucking shit. Always from a perspective of trying to be the good brother. Is trying to be the winner, yo. Nature does not know good or bad, fam. It knows laws. Do you respect the law of correspondence, the law of polarity, the law of mentalism, the law of rhythm, the law of gender, the law of polarity? Do you respect those laws? We have this weird Negro morality thing in us that stops us from being conquerors because we have no concept of empire. So my end game is not in America. My end game is having foreign property, not retiring in America, B, but not with Rosetta Stone.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So we look at the European and we complain about what he does, but nature supports the aggressor. Fortune favors the bold, yo. And you being a Black American, you have access to things people, the rest of the world don't have access to. You can ship that and make money. You don't gotta die in Brooklyn. You don't gotta die in Watts. You don't
Money.
gotta die in Houston. You can plant your seed somewhere else.
Exactly. Killmonger figured it out.
Like, come on. This is a big ass world. You know how many black people in Brazil, Central America? You are gross domestic product in America. You belong to the American nigger factory, right? And your children are the product, right? And you produce for the funeral home, you produce for the police, you produce for the projects, everybody makes money off the nigger factory. Everybody, right?
NFL.
NFL. Now, why not bubble your own self though? You've never thought about making money outside of the country? Never? Oh, because you're thinking about Gucci. And you're up in arms about that. You need different role models, yo.
Mm.
You need different role models to get you out of that nigger morality shit that can't get you no money. And you really think, yo, if you just be a good person, life is gonna get better.
Good luck with that.
No, sir. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely want to change the mentality, and that's all it is. It's a mental change because yo, again, fortune favors the bold. Yo, have y'all not realized every time the white man is doing something that we consider devious, nature allows it?
Mm.
Blue, how long the slave trade last?
Long enough.
How come the sun didn't send a solar flare and burn those mean white people?
They killed the dinosaurs.
I'm just saying, like, what's good with that? Like for generations, these people was on boats, but the white man didn't have a heart attack, and the ocean didn't rise up and swallow those people.
Them. Right?
Why not?
Why they swallowed the Titanic, not the slave ship? I'm just saying because water's consciousness is part of the part of our collective. You feel me?
So it should have.
The spirit. I mean, a lot of spirits live in that water. You know what I mean? Were they idle when they was running through there? Did they stand by? And I'm not asking these questions to be facetious. I'm just saying, like, these are things that we have to ask, of ourselves to a degree. You know what I mean? To get some clarity, and this can't be church once again when people say, oh, well, there's just certain things is beyond your scope of understanding and reasoning, child, and you just shouldn't be asking. It's like you got all other ways to grab the ear of the spirits to, you know what I'm saying, ask some A, B, and C. We need some hard motherfucking answers.
Because Blue, don't they tell us that the hurricanes that come on shore is doing that because that's the blood of the dead slaves, right?
That's what they say.
That's what they say. Okay, so I'm about prevention. When these people was on boats going to the Caribbean, going to Brazil, going to the Americas, there was never a natural event to stop the slave trade. There was never a monumental earthquake that ruined the Dutch businesses.
Right. There was nothing of no biblical proportions. Where was the Katrina at with that?
Nothing, right? Okay. So then nature favors the bold then. Nature favors the aggressor because every time the aggressor goes to do something, it's always favorable for them. When the United States dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, those planes wasn't whipped away by some strong wind. Right. Am I lying or no?
I mean, God stood aside and he watched.
Okay. For manifest destiny, when the United States Army, along with Black Buffalo soldiers, might I add, was pushing Native Americans off their land, how come the native spirits did not consume the U.S. Army?
Never happened.
Mm. Can you give me any time in modern history where a natural event helped those people being oppressed?
Um, unfortunately, these are not the folklore stories that we tell. So I'm not cognizant of any, you know what I'm saying? And these will be what I call the supernatural occurrences, because Christianity is predicated upon two supernatural occurrences that gave them the force and the wherewithal to move forward with the crusades, with Christendom. And that would be the the situation with Constantine, right? And that would be a situation with Paul, right? Both of these supernatural occurrences are what imbue Christianity with the force and the energy to go forward with world domination. So all of that was imbued off of a supernatural, whether it's superstition or supernatural or mystical or what have you. You feel me? It was enough for them, right? It was enough for them to galvanize a mythos around that occurrence to create a force that pretty much, flattened the whole planet. You know what I'm saying? But there was no natural force to counter it. And that's a problem. So if the mythos can override the thing that is connecting most to what you're telling me is real, you know what I mean? I mean, we just have to have critical analysis and evaluation of exactly what exactly is at play here. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, coming to whatever conclusion we come to pretty much determines where we need to be going and how, what force we need to be going to utilizing to get there. And I'm saying that to say we can't just sit around and expect moral character and the fact that, what I'm saying, you make your daily prayers or yes a lot, or you went to church and been a God fearing Christian or whatever have you. You dig what I'm saying? Or you say the negative confessions daily and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna correct these wrongs. It's gonna take some action. It's gonna take activity. You know what I mean? It's gonna take an attitude, right? It's gonna take a determination that you got to get out here in the real world and get some shit back.
Blue, is it going to take aggression? Because nature
It's gonna take
again
aggression.
favors the bold.
It's gonna take
No,
aggression. And what I'm saying is that aggression doesn't necessarily have to translate to you rolling over somebody or something, right? You could have aggression enough to find you an area of the planet that is non-dominated, right? You could get aggressive about a hectare of land that needs mowing. You know what I'm saying? That you're going to be laying down the motherfucking land and laying down the hemp and then growing food or building homes, right? Because the European also has this, he has a concept of being triumphant against the tripartite aspects of tribulations, trials and tribulations, which consisted of tribals, right? Tribes, which consisted of terra firma, right? Which was nature, and which consisted of theos, which was God. So let me give you an example. His conquering, and this is in his words, of the western frontier was a way of him thrusting himself into an unfamiliar situation, right? With the attitude of aggression and advancement that he went against the natives, the tribes. He went against nature, terror, right? Which swallows people. You know what I'm saying? Nature is very unkind to people that are, what you call it, unnative to its environment. You know what I'm saying? Nature don't give a shit about you. It'll swallow you whole and your babies. And then he went against the very God aspect of that land and of those people. So this man is at war with God, and he feels like he's winning. That's where his attitude comes from. You dig what I'm saying? So, like, what are we doing, and what are we like? How do we galvanize ourselves daily to have a level where we're gonna compete against the energy and the attitude like that? You feel me? What reinforces our daily ethos to go outside, not just to shoot fucking basketballs and jump high? You know what I'm saying? But to run down, right? Because you keep telling me this is a jungle. How do you eat? Right? What the fuck are you running down on? How do you sharpen your teeth? How do you teach your babies to eat outside of eating one another? That's all I'm saying.
You know, Blue, I watch a lot of nature, right? I watch a lot of animal killings. I have a twisted mind. I had to do that to my mind. So I watch a lot of like predator and prey. I watch snakes eat things, birds eat things. I watch a pack of African wild dogs who are like vicious. And sometimes these things don't eat every day, right? And they eat your children too. They don't care, right? Because it's all about their it's all about their self-preservation, right?
Right.
But nature favors them though. Nature favors them. And the interesting thing when you look at the nigger morality chip is the nigger morality chip sees itself as prey because we always talk about what someone is doing to us, right?
Facts.
We never ever talk from a perspective of empire. Okay.
We did this.
We don't force, we don't encourage aggressive behavior.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
At all. I mean, women have genetically worked it out of their children to a degree where the children are very effeminate based on the fact of them being non-aggressors, right? Because the threat of being threatening can result in you, you know what I'm saying, getting Trayvoned. And that is what's subconsciously conveyed to the mother and the child at this particular point in time. That's the danger of the society that we live in. So how do you counter that? You know what I'm saying? How do you counter that? Not only subconsciously, but consciously, aggressively. You dig what I'm saying? How do you put the bite back in the fucking people who have lost their bite?
How do you, well, I think you teach empire, right? So you have the Spanish Empire, the British Empire, the Russian Empire, even Japanese, even Japan, which is the size of California. Now, I don't know if people are really aware of what went down on World War II, but Japan pretty much locked up the whole Pacific coastline, okay? Japan formed an alliance with Germany and Italy. So Germany was headed by Hitler, Italy was headed by Mussolini. Germany went to war with the West, okay? Germany is the size of California, man. And it went to war with the West, and it almost achieved pretty much dominance, right? And the Japanese people were behind that. Now, why? Because the Japanese people have a concept of empire. The whole concept of a kamikaze comes from Japanese fighters flying their plane into enemy combatants. The Japanese also have the samurai. The samurai believe they believe in honor, dog. They would rather fall on their sword than to break a code of being a samurai. They rather die than be a prisoner. They rather die than be caught by an enemy. That's their creed. So when people be like, yo, black people don't be on code, what code? What code? The code is never honor. There's no creed. There's no pedigree. It's not empire. The people that are telling you stay on code, they're not military men. They're entertainers. They call you names if you don't stay on code. Oh yeah, you're just cooning. Oh, you're butter biscuits, right? If you don't stay on code and black culture, what happens? What? There's nothing that's gonna
Shame,
happen to you,
right? Shame culture.
right? That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. Because bro, the leaders again are ministers and motivational speakers. They're not talking about empire, right? They're not talking about expanding. They're not talking about, you know what, I just came. Now, all these people travel abroad. They never come back with a plan like, yo, we out. We out. We about to go over there and shut shit down,
Right.
right? We speak in the language. Look, bro, we speak in the,
I
we
need
speak,
that.
you know what I'm saying? We speak in the language. You know what I'm saying? We speak in the language. We gonna knock they breezies up over there, put our children in their wombs, and grow our own colony of Black American niggas in Brazil, in South America, in Argentina, in Ecuador, nigga, in India, in Australia.
Right. And you know why I know that what you're saying is not far fetched? Because when niggas got their hands on crack cocaine, they did the same thing, right? Went
Mm-mm.
to small towns and they tied it down. So the way that New Yorkers in particular fanned out across the eastern seaboard down I-95, it was like Romans. They went to different provinces, which were small towns. They found out who the Willie was. They knocked him down. They snatched his whiz. They put seeds in her. Dig what I'm saying? And they told her, the little niggas, look, you know what I'm saying? If you want a job, come see me at the Carlisle. Is that not what they did?
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Was that not empire?
Mm-hmm.
Was they not perpetuating Roman energy?
Mm-hmm.
So what are we talking about? But we can't do it for our own prosperity and our own posterity and our own, you know what I'm saying, continuance of saying, look, we need this land, we need these resources, you feel me? And
Mm-hmm.
everybody benefits as a result, you know. But if we got to do it with a level of aggression, then so be it. When have we not been aggressive towards one another?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Right, for all of the wrong reasons.
Hmm. But I don't. But you need honor in your aggression, though. You know what I'm saying? You,
Yeah,
you can't you can't operate just on barbarity.
yeah.
You need honor in your
I,
aggression.
I ain't talking.
You
Yeah, I'm not talking about barbarity. I'm saying, you know, a collective incentivized goal to say, you know what I'm saying? We have a vision, you know what I mean? And this is how we're going to go about executing said vision. You know, I ain't talking about running down with the things and get down and lay down, you know what I mean? Not with the energy of that per se, but with the energy of that per se.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
But an understanding, you know, a military mindset, you know what I'm saying? With an objective, a collective objective connected at the end, right? Which is incentivized by the individual coming into an understanding themselves. This is not something that, you know, like you said, that you sell to a collective per se, but aspiring men come together collectively with these intentions and these goals at hand and agree how to go about doing it, right? For their women and their children. So that's where
mhm,
it happens. But like you said, it has to happen with the individual first. So if a man is not a man, this conversation will never resonate. They don't,
mhm,
it's not going to connect,
mhm,
you know? And that goes
mhm,
back to the whole argument. Then how do you raise a man? You dig what I'm saying? Because that honor principle, that has to be something that's innate. Like that has to be there. You know what I mean? Can you teach
mhm,
that these days? Can you teach loyalty?
mhm,
You know, before you came on, I said that I was, you know, I did some YouTube engine recently because it's just not too much that I get an opportunity. Like, you know, there's nothing on cable. I don't, you know, I don't really even look at cable. It was not too much on Netflix. So I found myself looking at YouTube and I started looking at Vlad, you know, because Vlad's like to interrogate. That's the debriefing room. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're bound to find out more than you anticipated for if you tune in.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I listened to the Mob James series. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I peeped that. I peeped that.
And Mob James was speaking about his his um his hurt, you know, when he realized that the collective that he had given blood, sweat, and tears to, you know what I'm saying, his gang, um, no longer possessed, or he came to an understanding or a realization that they didn't possess the loyalty and the honor that he felt was you know, was always there for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Money got involved, and you know, certain principles went out the window.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And these are men that have given their entire life to these creeds, to these collectives, you know, only to find out in the end, you know what I'm saying, that the shit ain't about nothing,
Hmm.
you know? So and you know, these are situations where he said, look, I done been through the thick and thin with them, front line, you know what I mean? We done been through wars together. You dig what I'm saying? So at some point, you know, you go through life thinking that these individuals are built and cut from a particular cloth, only
Mm-hmm.
to find out that they're not when other things get interjected, such as money, into the conversation. You know what I mean? And then the loyalty starts getting real wavy.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and on that money tip, you know what I'm saying, on that money conversation, it's almost harkens back to the Steve Harvey Monique conversation. You know, the Treyway Bloods, they was playing the money game, right? Suge Knight
Mm-hmm.
and M.O.B., you know, with Tupac, they was playing the money game.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that money game gets real tricky in the end. If there's no integrity, loyalty, no trust, right? And no principles and no understanding and a level of decorum where people know how to play their position.
Oh, let me interject right there, bro. See, the problem is we base our integrity towards each other and loyalty towards each other off de facto premises. And let me tell you what I mean by that. We're playing a skin tone game, right? We're saying someone looks like me, therefore I owe you honor and loyalty, right? But honor traditionally, if we talk tradition, honor, loyalty, integrity, brotherhood, sisterhood, that is only played out with people in your tribe,
Right. That's
right?
earned.
Now,
It's earned.
now, you and I know, but let's share. Why was the Jew despised in early times? Because the Jew lent money at interest towards non-Jews. The
Right.
Jew would never lend money at interest to a Jew. Okay. Brown skin to classify as brother and sister, dog. You feel me? Because what happens is we're playing this crown game, this color game, and we know the color is to hide and conceal something, but we're playing a color game. So we see another brown person in the marketplace, and we think because of fantasy and because of things that our teachers have told us, oh, that's my brother right there. No, it's not. Not exactly. Not exactly. When Steve Harvey was said this is the money game, he's correct. It is the money game. And the industry is fake. So for you to think it's something else, that's your problem. Because you're trying to change a fake game, right? You are in an area where people wear masks. You don't know what's going on here. Now, I guarantee you there is a loyalty Steve Harvey has with people, and it's probably with his fraternity brothers. He shows extreme loyalty to them. They have the same initiations, they have the same rituals, they have the same handshakes, grips, and passwords. That's who his loyalty is to. Do you understand? I don't expect his loyalty to be to me. Why though? That's that nigger morality shit. Right? Now, pay attention close to the marketplace with other people. The Chinaman does not have a loyalty to the Japanese man.
Fact.
The guy from South Korea does not have a loyalty and a brother concept with the guy from South Korea.
North Korea, right?
North Korea, right?
Fact.
The Russian does not have a brother concept with people from Barcelona. Where do we get these ideals from? And that's how we're always playing the wrong game. Now, first of all, they're both dumb as hell for even talking about something personal like that in front of people. But again, this is the nigger factory. The nigger's business is gross domestic product for the whole world. Okay, so since it's in the open, now everybody got to talk, right? Now, Monique shit sounded great. See, when you poor and you ain't got shit going on for yourself, it sounded great. But Steve Harvey included a lot of people. He included his grandchildren. He included his family, right? And people don't like Steve because he did the shit with Trump and all that. But guess what? Mad people on this live is going to go to work tomorrow with a job that they don't like. That's against their quote unquote integrity. But guess what? They got babies. And they're not going to let no dumb shit that I say have them walk off the job and it compromises their babies. So it sounds great on Twitter. Yeah, fuck Steve. Boycott Steve. Yeah, it sounds great. That's fake shit though. Because when it's on your plate to make a move, what you going to do? Right? That's fake. Now, I know you, Blue, so you can get my loyalty, bro. I don't know a stranger. I don't know what all black women go through. That's not my fucking business, yo. That's not stoic of me to be in everybody's business and to take everybody's issue on. I got to get a feel for you. Have you ever been to my house? You know my son, you know my lady? We ever broke some bread together? We caught a case together? We ate together? We sat on the floor together? No. It's the same way with the samurai. Like, hold on. Yeah, this is the money game, not the feelings game. All that shit sound good. Now, guess what? What we're really not talking about is how Monique's husband is a fucking bad manager. How about that? And how about before he came along, when she was fat Monique, she was doing her damn thing. And this nigga done came along and she talks different now. And yeah, that shit sound good, dog. That shit sound good. It sound good to people that ain't never had no money in their hand and people that's not responsible for other people and people that don't got nothing to do in the morning. But when you got something to do in the morning and it's people expecting shit from you, man, it's a whole nother thing, dog. It's a whole nother thing. So we got to have real talk, grown-up talk, not emotional talk, not I don't got shit to do in the morning talk so you can give your opinion. Not I ain't really never seen no money talk. Not people ain't depending on me talk. Grown-up talk. We in the money business, nigga. The money business is contracts. The money business is profits and returns. The money business is lawyers. The money business is relationships. And what the money business ain't is emotions. Don't bring your emotions here, yo. Don't bring your emotions here. That's that nigger morality shit. You always want to talk about how you feel. You want to let niggas know how you feel all the time. Well, I feel like this and I feel like that. Now, the people that's rooting for you are people that ain't got shit. And that's fine. That's fine. But you're going to be right there with them in 1 second. Nah, man. That's bro. This is not a culture that came up off business. Remember, the leaders of the Black community are emotional people, pastors and motivational speakers, not business people, not investors, not entrepreneurs, not marketers, not economists. The people that talk to black people are motivational speakers. So niggas be in their feelings, and it's not personal. It's business. It's not personal. It's business. You don't get what you think you're worth. You got to negotiate. You go back to the drawing board with that. You don't come out in the open and make a scene publicly, and then when people handle you a certain type of way, you in your feelings. You feel me? First and foremost, if I'm Monique's husband, I don't got her out there talking like that, nigga. First of all, if Monique is my wife, now let's talk some just G shit. If Monique is my wife and she's been mismanaged in the game, I don't got her the one talking out and about. I'm gonna be the one talking out and about. I'm gonna get in front of that. He the manager, right? He the husband and he's the manager.
Right.
You got your wife out here crashing out, my nigga, while you in the back designing bad plays. If you want to see the downfall of Monique, it's her fucking husband. This nigga's management hand is trash. He got his baby girl out here fucking up her coins. That's a problem, bro. It's him. He's the problem. Because that girl was running the score up before he came along. Monique did not have a problem until he came. Right? So if it's anybody that should be sitting down with Steve, it's Monique's husband. They need to talk. Hey, bro, this is what I think. And I guarantee you that he would have, all that integrity shit he was talking about, it would have went a different direction. He's sitting down with a dude. He need to get in touch with Lee Daniels. He need to get in touch with Tyler Perry. He need to get in touch with Oprah. Hey, this is what we got going on. This is what we doing. You got your girl frontlining. Come on, man. And then look, the black woman getting beat the fuck up on, she got a husband. Blue, does she have a husband? Yes or no?
Oh, she got a dude.
He's her manager too.
Yeah, he's a zaddy.
Yeah, he's zaddy. That's right. He's zaddy. Now, who don't respect that? She has a husband, and she's in a dilemma right now, and she's frontlining. Where's this nigga? He needs to be out in the front, actually shielding her from that. He got to play politics now. That's how the game go. Right? Now, when you look at Black America, when Black America was thriving, it's because Black America played the game. You had number runners, you had Bumpy Johnson, you had black gangsters, you had cotton clubs, you had black brothels and saloons. You know what I'm saying? The streets ran Black America. The streets did. They destroyed the streets, dog. So they destroyed the order, so they destroyed the game. So you got what you got, fam. But trust me, that situation with Monique and Steve, it's only going like that is because her husband is not the one out there speaking, bro. She is. And of course, she's a black woman. So it's always she needs to shut up. No, it's her husband that need to step out from the back and get in front of it, or they're gonna die in poverty, nigga. That's all I got to say about that.
I mean, I definitely can't disagree. It's brutal to see her out there. And I don't know where he's at, but it's just an interesting conversation. In the way that it kind of, I don't necessarily say that it has a direct throughway to the Dame Dash conversation, but you're looking at two individuals who have been ostracized, or proverbially blacklisted by industry that they were once very much a part of, and at some points, a dominant force is in. You know, what were your thoughts about the Dash situation? You know, when you saw the video and his apology. You know what I'm saying? His broad stroke apology to a lot of different players. You know, in this conversation that we're having about power and aggression and dominance. You know what I'm saying? Dame Dash initially was somebody who was very dominant and aggressive in the industry. You know what I'm saying? He utilized a lot of that energy, you know, to get to places where he needed to go. And he wasn't pretty much, he didn't think twice about if he had to step on an individual to get there, you know. And now we see a situation where people from the outside might look at it as capitulation. You know what I mean? The body language was kind of off. You feel me? So, you have any insight on that?
What the because we got to look at everything as an archetype, right? So the bad thing about this Dame Dash situation is now you have to re-examine what is boss talk. What does it mean talking boss? Now, there one thing about us, we're good at talking shit, right? But when you listen to someone like Larry Page from Google and Sergey, like programmers, they have a dry way of talking. It's not entertaining because they're programmers. So they talk about how things work, right? When you listen to Mark Zuckerberg talk, they're programmers, they're coders. So they talk about functionality. A lot of the times, the people that we like, they shit talkers, bro. They talk real fast and, it got shade and tea in it and we love it.
Slick.
Right, slick, right? We like slick talking, but there's no functionality to it. So when Dame Dash would talk about boss, when he would say this is boss talk, I only speak boss, he never really said what that meant. What does that mean and how does that work? What is boss talk, right? Could you show me from A to Z what it is to be a boss? What's that look like? Okay. And is that only in business? What's that look like in the household with my wife and children? What's that look like in my social groups?
Right.
What does that look like in the workplace or in my entrepreneurship? Right? What's the best time to hire an assistant? Okay. How do you keep your emails clean? See, now we're about to get into function. How? Okay. What did you do your EIN before you did your LLC? Who's your CPA? In terms of business taxes, if you've been doing business on PayPal for most of your life, how do you go about that in terms of a paper trail? Are you a 1099? Right? Because he's talking boss. And I'm assuming that he's saying all this in terms of business. Right? So if he's talking boss, then it's up to it's for the people to now have to get surgical. Ask these people what the hell do they mean when they're talking about boss talk. When people are saying they are this and they are that, ask them what do they mean? Because now the whole concept of boss has to go away because his move was not boss. You make decisions in your life and you stand on it. Period. Now, I don't know if he wanted to be at the Rockefeller brunch. I don't know. I don't know. But he created a wave of the hip hop motivation and the culture vulture with the dude Kenyatta. You got to see that all the way to the end. You have to see that all the way to the end.
Right. Do you feel that he undermined that?
For sure. For sure. Because this is the thing. Leo Cohen wasn't a culture vulture. You know why?
Why is that?
because we give the culture away for free. Leor Cohen, Rick Rubin, none of them, Dave Morris, Doug Morris, Jimmy Iovine, they're not culture vultures. This is America's nigger factory. You don't have to pay us for shit. We'll give it to you.
Whew. God damn.
So who is at fault here? We have a free culture. Right? So no, Leor Cohen is not. That's being disingenuous. And let's be honest here. You take the Jew out of hip hop, you don't have black millionaires. You don't like that? You're not feeling that? You take the Jew, you take Rick Rubin away from Russell Simmons. You take Leor Cohen out of Def Jam. Take the Jew out. Take him away from Sammy Davis Jr. You don't like that. It is what it is, yo. It is what it is. Your teachers lied to you. What they did was they tried to give you another type of self-esteem, so they told you bullshit and made you feel more important than you really were. And they didn't tell you the nuts and bolts of the game. They told you the world revolved around your melanin. They told you that other people had calcified pineal glands. They told you was the mother and father of civilization while you couldn't pay your rent. They told you was the mother and father of civilization while your parents died at 40 years old because of diabetes. They told you was the mother and father of civilization while you don't have a passport. They lied to you. They did you a disservice. They did not tell you the truth. They told you was way too special. And in the process, you have developed a identity where you don't understand how the game works because you're caught in your head on your fucking skin. You're schizophrenic, okay? So you've been missing maybe hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars because you've been in your head. And then you end up like Dame Dash and you talk dumb, right? You isolate yourself, right? Your politic game is not where it needs to be, right? You've made millions of dollars in the game, but you're not in a position to teach because you're talking boss this and boss that and boss this. Yo, bosses talk about functionality. So you can have a lot of little U's running around. Because guess what? Harvard Business School produces a bunch of little Harvards. Duke University produces a bunch of Duke Universities. Right? The thing about it is, Nipsey Hussle never says he's a boss. Right? Just not just on some talking shit, right?
Right.
Like he's showing you, yo, look at the commercial properties, look at the commercial units, look at the moves, look at the WeWork stations. See, because this is how you know someone is a boss. What do they do with their money? You don't got to say you're a boss. You could be a straight square. When you get $1, what does that shit do, bro? What does your dollars do? When I'm looking at Nipsey Hussle, his dollars is going into infrastructure.
Facts.
Right? Dame Dash is telling you he's a boss. I'm a boss. I'm boss talk. And that shit right there is just Harlem Fly shit. You know, that shit right there is just to put other people in a position, you know, make other people feel a certain type of way. It's a loud bark. Ruff, ruff, ruff. It's a loud bark. Right? Meanwhile, Jay-Z is making millions of dollars with the woman he had a baby with. What's more boss than that? What's more boss than that, bro? Right? Philanthropy. Anonymous giving. What's more boss than that? Buying back your time. right? Getting into a financial space where you're not bound by time, where you bought your time back. What's more boss than that? Coming back and trying to correct a lot of shit of the mess you made. I didn't hear Dame Dash trying to be better than the young Dame Dash. He was still in the same space. So for him to eat that shit pie is very interesting. It's very interesting, bro. You know what I'm saying? He had to eat a shit pie. He says he apologizes, and at the same time, he puts that dude Kenyatta in a fucked up space because what is culture vultures? Who's a vulture to the culture? If anything, I would argue Dame Dash is more of a culture vulture than Leor Cohen is. Leor Cohen is not obligated to do shit for black people. When Rockefeller was cracking, let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade. When Rockefeller was cracking, Dame Dash signed artists that sold crack.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Not only that, you know, I was having a conversation the other day on my live, and I was speaking about the Rothschilds, and we was talking about nepotism, about putting your people in position, you know, almost like how crony capitalism works. And I said, yeah, I said I saw an example of it when I used to be in the industry and I was up at Def Jam. You know, Dame fired all of the melanated women at Rockefeller and replaced them with young white women who were the nieces and nephews of Rothschilds and Rockefellers. This is when they started, you know, schmoozing with Cipriani's and all of these other venues. And they started bringing in the PR girls, you know, the power players who these were the young nieces and daughters and cousins and, you know, all of these young European Jewish women in particular who wanted to play the PR game in hip hop but did not know the culture, but they got a walkthrough, you know what I'm saying, by these dudes who was in the Hamptons with them and at all of these venues, Dame Dash in particular. So I saw that with my eyes. You dig what I'm saying? And to this day, he carries on that energy where he says empower women, and that's a strong sentiment, you know what I mean? But if you look at the company that he keeps, he empowers European women around him.
Dame Dash always liked the models, bro, which is fine. Yo, I don't talk about what another man does with his dick. That's his personal shit. I'm only talking about the words, right?
Mm-hmm.
Real shit. Who's more of a culture vulture, Dame or Leor? State property. Now, look, I'm all for the streets. That's cool. But what about tech, right? There was no tech money invested. Who was the genius coming from these areas? Yeah, you could sign hood dudes all day. That's great. But what about the young lawyers? What about HBCUs? Now, again, people could do what they want with the money. But if we're calling someone a culture vulture, Dame had millions too. And his millions went to sign niggas that sold crack, which is cool. And Beanie Siegel put together a fire ass album, nigga. Skeet on Sparks was hot. Young Guns was hot. All that shit was dope. However, lawyers, engineers, paleontologists, archaeologists, chess players, mathematicians, biologists, is their funding coming from? Right. So when Dame Dash is saying sorry, I'm like, boss, right? Boss. Boss. It's boss talk, right? So sad, but it is what it is, man. I'm not surprised. It's humble pie. Everybody gotta eat their shit sandwich, yo. You know what I'm saying? So Lear don't owe niggas nothing. He never said he was for that. You know what I'm saying? He never said he was for that. He made some black niggas rich. It was their job to put the money in education and put the money in institution. See, I know that now, Blue. I didn't know that then, nigga. I was rocking with Come Home With Me album. I was dancing and rapping to all the music. You feel me? Because I was young and dumb. So I didn't know what it was hitting for then. But them millions of dollars they're getting from the label, that shit goes to institutions and in industry, bro. I know
To learn
now.
philanthropy, you're supposed to learn institution building. You know, if you're gonna learn anything from the Jews,
Right. Industry and institution. That's where the money goes. That's where your legacy resides. Andrew Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, you don't gotta like these white people, but they put their money back into making little thems. You know what I'm saying? Industry and institution, manufacturing, education, the plight of black people, the shit that makes it a plight is the stuff that's on the books.
and yeah, I seen this interview with with Beans. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, it all comes back to, like you said, integrity and things of that nature. You know, because Beans was speaking about how Dame kind of snaked him, you know, out of some of his business moves. But like you said, this was a individual who built his empire on the premise of selling crack as well. So it
Mm.
gets real tricky and sticky. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, to see, well, who came out on top? You know, nobody came out on top. You know what I mean? Even if Jay walked away with his proverbial billions, you know, I'm sure that he wanted to see his team succeed. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that, you know, you can't be responsible for people's losses, and I'm not saying that he is, but you know, when we talking about boss, you know, that also includes that, you know, your team got to be in that position. Now, if they squander that position, that's on them, and you can't be taking arrows for somebody else's missteps. You know, and we know, you know, from what we can see from the outside, we've seen that Beans put himself in a lot of situations that could have potentially harmed the entire collective, the conglomerate. You feel me? But
Mhm.
you know,
Sad. That's all I can
sad,
say.
yeah, sad, and only
Sad.
them only, you know, the men, only the men know what transpired and what went down. And unfortunately, you know, we're in the audience just looking at whatever it is that we're seeing, and you know, we're making assessments based on partial information. But the shit just looks sad. You know what I'm saying? It looks sad because we all lived through this Rockefeller era. You know what I mean? And a lot of people pattern their lives and their moves and their empire. You dig what I'm saying? Or for the plays that they seen. You know what I mean? Because what
Mhm.
else did they have? This was empire. You feel me? This was empire before Julie Smollett and Lee. Before Julie Smollett and Lee Daniels. You know, this was the version of empire that young melanated men had to look at, you know, the pattern their empirical desires off of, to say, oh, this is how I'm gonna move through the world. Like, these men understood empire. These men were moving in that empire mind state. You know what I'm saying? Building and dominating industry and moving into different facets of, you know what I'm saying, diversifying their portfolio. And they came in independent and they monstered their way into X, Y, and Z, you know. But then we saw the fall of empire as well. And I think that we finally seen the dust settle, you know what I'm saying? And it's been a long time coming. We've seen the crash. You know what I'm saying? We've seen the crash. You've seen it a while ago. Now you've seen the dust settle.
And look, and Blue, I was riding through DC the other day, and so DC has aggressive fiends, so they come up to your car, right? And you know they knock on your window. They're real aggressive with that shit. And I had someone in the car with me. I had someone in the car with me, and I was like, "Yo, that shit wasn't worth it. All the money that came from the music and the culture and you know, when I was 18, 19, I was all it was about. It was about hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Mobb Deep shit, you know, 10 Crack Commandments, all that shit, right? I had no idea what it would look like 20 years later, bro. It was not worth it. the one Jay-Z that came, that's great. That's awesome. But all these people laid out on the streets, the people laid out that I drive by every day, man, they've been out there 30 years, B.
Facts.
Right? These are somebody's mama.
Facts. I
Right?
see them when I'm in LA and Skid Row. Those are 30-year-old. Those are 30-year fiends.
Those are 30-year-old fiends, bro. I'm 35
I
years old.
met fiends who told me they bought bass from Freeway.
Listen, because Dame Dash is apologizing. And the thing I can respect about Jay-Z, at least he got a song called Kill Jay-Z that make him be introspective and make him be like, you know what, I'm here, but I couldn't be here without stepping on the back. And that's real. That's real in business. Like, okay, I can respect that, right? Because even the life that I live, I've had to step on people. And I've done that shit. And I try to make atonement all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because for me to get here, somebody had to lose, right? So when Dame Dash is apologizing to Leor and Jay-Z and Steve Stout, he needs to apologize to the culture because his influence got niggas in jail and it got them people out on the streets. Because let's be real, bro. Niggas wasn't getting millions of dollars in hip hop and creating clinics. Right?
Not at all. I never seen
that. Wasn't happening, right? So when I'm driving and I have to look away because I know that I was part of a culture that made these people like this. I know that. I bought the albums. I was out there with my homeboys. I was cutting up. I had no idea that I would be the 35-year-old dude one day. When I was 15 and 16, I didn't think that, fam. I wasn't looking that far. You know what I'm saying? You caught up in your own narcissism, right? So you don't know that you're going to be the old nigga one day. You're going to be the old chick, or you're going to have kids, right? And that shit, that music that we call classic, that shit ruined our lives. It gave us bad habits. It didn't teach us to save money. It didn't teach us good principles.
To this day.
To this day, it ruined our lives. Now, we don't want to say that. Oh, yo, the music, man, that shit killed us. Not everything, but I'm talking about the shit niggas was doing from like 94 to like 04. Yo, let's be real.
Facts.
Let's be, man, Prodigy said, I'm about to get on some high school shit and start punching niggas in the face again. Bro, he said, I'm about to start punching niggas in the face again. We ain't had no daddies, man. These was our fathers. I learned everything from hip hop. Nas said it was poison. Ecstasy, coke, you say it's love, but it's poison. Schools where I learned it should be burned and it's poison. Physicians prescribing us medicine, which is poison. Doctors injecting the infants with the poison. My mama ain't tell me that. My mama didn't tell me that. She ain't know that shit. Right? My mama didn't tell me that. And I think it's disingenuous for somebody, where's the daddies? Where you think? They was on crack. They was shot out. Where you think the daddies was at? You know what I'm saying? Cameron said, if you can't get paid in the earth this big, you worthless, kid. Nigga, you don't deserve to live. Now, how do I interpretate that lyric, Blue? I'm young. You know what I'm saying? That's off the SDE album. I'm young, and I hear, yo, if you can't get paid in the earth this big, you worthless, kid. Nigga, you don't deserve to live. So shit, what you gonna do to get some money? Whatever. And you had no idea that the people that you was, I cried recently because I was listening to the Murder Music album, and the people that I was listening to that shit, they're dead, bro. They are not here no more. I'm like, yo, where's such and such? Where's bro? Right? I'm listening to the first shit. Why you have to raise me this way? Murder Music go hard. That's my shit. But I was like, yo, even Prodigy not even here, nigga. Right? So yeah, so Dame, not just Dame, many others, many others. I'm glad to see niggas winning, but you got to reach back and you got to make an atonement. Like, you got to give a sorry for the culture. Fuck apologizing to Leor. You know what I'm saying? You got to apologize to the culture because, nigga, that shit was laying people out. They're still out, dog. I live in DC, fam. This was Chocolate City, nigga. Gentrification is real. You need to see these people out here. These are mothers, fathers, and grandfathers that never got their life back on track. 30 years. And guess what, my nigga? They be getting so high all these years. That's the only thing that's keeping them alive. If they even try to get clean, they will die.
Fumes, right. Fumes keep them adrift.
Bro, they can't even get clean because it'll kill them. You feel me? So Dame owes the culture apology, nigga, because he signed niggas that sell drugs, which is cool. Fine. But I'm saying, though, none of that money went to industry and institution, bro. The shit went to clothing line, which is cool. But that's personal bloodline family shit. That's not industry and institution. That's not an HBCU. Those aren't scholarships. Because I would argue that the academic child needs more support than the nigga selling drugs. This is my opinion on that. The child that is an engineer, think about how many lives they might change. It funded. The accountant. Come on, man. And again, I've contributed to the shit too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely not. So, you know, every time I look at them people that are out there, I just look and you know what I'm saying? I say my apologies because I know that I participated in the culture. I was a knucklehead with me and my friends. I did not know better. I did not know because Blue, a generation is 30 years.
Right.
So you don't know what something looks like until 30 years from now.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So Dame Dash don't owe Leor an apology. He owes the culture an apology. That's who he owes the apology. Nigga, Joel Santana was talking about big bricks, nigga. Cameron was talking about big bricks. The intro of the one of the song Losing Weight Part 2, like it was about bricks, dog. That's all it was about. It was about bricks. Big got a song telling you what you should do with crack. Right? You feel me?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, you do what you got to do, but that apology, it was trash because it don't align with his concept of box talk. But deeper than that nigga owe the culture an apology if you're gonna apologize, or don't say shit and just keep it rocking. Feel me? But yeah, it that shit fucked us up, bro. To this day, it did not teach us how to be men. Did not teach us how to be fathers. It did not teach us how to be partners. It did not teach us anything. There's nothing that the hip hop that I listen to at 35, it's like that shit did not prepare me to be an adult.
Facts.
So that's my thoughts on Dame. So, you know, if he, you know, his real freedom is if he reached back and be like, you know what, I contributed. And that's it. And that's all you got to do. You don't got to give nobody nothing. Just reach back and be like, you know what, I have my part in the devastation, because it is a devastation, nigga. Black America is fucked. And a lot of it came through hip hop. It was audio crack. It went from heroin It went from booze to heroin to crack to audio crack. Now we're in digital crack with the shade room and shit like that. So it's always been a form of drug to knock the, to put the black population in some type of twilight zone. So in them 90s, that music, my nigga, I know I listened to it. That shit was crack, bro. That shit fucked us up. Me and my friends put us on a bad course, my nigga, taught us bad things. Nigga, if you listen to Spice One, that nigga killed everything.
Everything.
You feel me? You listen to Styles P, you listen to Hell Real. You know what I'm saying? You listen to Half a Mil. What? Come on now, stop playing. Listen, and I didn't listen to De La Soul, nigga. All my rappers, I was listening to Queensbridge niggas, Tragedy, Gaddafi and shit, bro.
Facts.
Wasn't listening to De La Soul, bro. No disrespect, but I wasn't listening to them niggas was too happy. You feel me? I ain't like how them niggas dress. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to real hard shit, nigga. Cool G rap, bro. Niggas had to be fresh. Niggas had to be dealing dope. Niggas had to be fucking pussy. That's a bad course. That's a bad course, bro. You listen to the We Are the Streets album when you in 10th grade, 9th grade on the bus. Nigga, you got box cutters. Like, they making music for niggas in jail and shit. You got box cutters. Yo, the song Wild Out came out. Oh, yo, you know how many niggas got hit in the head at the skating ring because of that song?
Getting punched in their face.
Right? So, come on.
This is, these are eras where we done retired from Wilding Out. This is the residuals of the little niggas singing the shit that we did. That's all of the locks and all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm watching the younger generation, probably which will be your generation, live it out, go through it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to school and this is your the backdrop and your anthem. And I saw complete devastation in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I saw complete devastation. I saw a generation that just, we had access to the guidance. Y'all didn't have the guidance because if y'all was looking towards us, you know what I'm saying? Because we was devouring the youth. You know what I'm saying? So the guidance was not there.
So when I hear someone like T.I., boycott this, boycott, I'm like, wait a minute, before you do that, you have to go back and change, just like Dame. I'm all for every man can be a new creature, bro. Every man can go through his own form of baptism, his own awakening. But before you do that, you have to go back and correct that younger man. You have to publicly correct and challenge that younger man and be like, you know what, that was my younger self. Because I know for sure niggas went to jail off trap music. You got to go back and challenge that other man, bro. Before you talk about boycotting Gucci, nobody boycotted trap music. Right or wrong?
Facts.
Right? Nobody boycotted trap music. So before you step out there, I think that's disingenuous. I don't think that's correct. Again, every man can change, bro. Every man has an aha moment, fam. And that's great. You know what I'm saying? But you can't just come out and be like, yo, so Gucci, we boycotting this. Then you want to get on people. You want to talk about Kanye. You want to do this. Kanye ain't sell no drugs, yo. Kanye does not build his career off choppers. You feel me? So there's nothing wrong with reaching back and looking at your former self and saying, you know what, based off the information that I knew, this is how I talked. You know what I mean? There's beauty in redemption.
What I endorse, right? That's what I endorse. It's what I built my entire empire off of.
Right. It goes back to that messianic thing that I was talking about. This is what I was, look at what I am now. And after you do that, niggas, you can. You can't, that when we look at the movie Batman, he's always trying to cope with these dark spaces in his life. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be this thing, you know what I'm saying? Where he can grow from there, he can help, but he's torn by his demons, losing his parents, feeling like he could have did something else. You know, that's his subconscious mind. Yo, you can go back and you can do the same thing in your own life. That's what it means to be Christ, to resurrect. That's alchemy, bro. I used to be this, now I'm this. That is turning a base metal into gold. That's alchemy. We all have that ability. You know what I'm saying? We all got the ability to practice alchemy, bro. We all are the philosopher's stone. You know what? Man, I did dumb shit 10 years ago, 15 years ago, hell, 5 years ago, 5 months ago. But I see things different now based off the information that I have gained. I have went through involution. We talk a lot about evolution. That's a physical change. Involution is a spiritual change. You can't see it. So every man, woman can do that. But first, you got to go back and kill that other person so you can move on. And you got to kill it in front of the people, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to kill it in front of the people, bro. So I don't respect him calling a boycott. I don't respect Dame Dash saying, no, go back and put that work in, nigga. Do the Lord's work. Go kill that old person because that old you has cost a lot of lives. Of course, we wish we had a culture that didn't follow celebrity. Of course, we have a culture that wish people stand on their own too, but that's just not what it is. We follow celebrity, we follow entertainers. That shit is the backdrop. That's the canvas of our lives. And that's just what it is. So before you move on with your new narrative, you got to clean that dirt under your fingernails. And that's cool. That's fine. Move on. I never want to fucking handcuff nobody, bro. But goddamn it, you got to do that work though. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you become knighted. And then now you're in a position to roll call to people and you can do a call to action. And that's how you get the people's trust because they know you're not on no fake shit. You can call a spade and give your testimony like, yo, before.
Yeah, I cleaned up.
You know?
It's time to clean up.
You gotta clean up, man. You gotta clean up before you can move forward. And there's nothing wrong with that, though. You feel me? There's nothing wrong with that. And all these cats in the culture got to do this shit, dog, because we was trained wrong. That's what it means. That in church, they call it a baptism or a shahada. Same concepts. You becoming something different. You becoming a new creature. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. So this is why when T.I. says let's boycott, it's 3 months. He's not passionate about that. He's not passionate about that. That's why he said 3 months, Blue. Because he's not passionate about that. You feel me? Because if he was living that, he said, man, I'm a 7-figure spender every year on Gucci. You feel me? He ain't passionate about that. Who calls for a damn 3-month boycott or something? He ain't passionate about that. He just came to this party, man. He ain't never said he read Dr. Ben books. He ain't never said he fucked with Francis Cress Wilson. He talks great, but he ain't never. Please, bro. Please. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. So with Dame, he owed a culture apology. Maybe he'll give the culture apology. Maybe he won't. I'm not gonna hold my breath because I'm working on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on me. I'm working on my messianic story. You know what I mean? And I'm doing the work because I got so much repairing to do because I was part of America's nigger factory, nigga. My behavior, the decisions that I was making, the way I ate, the way I made it, the way I talked. I'm ashamed of that shit looking back on it. It's unacceptable to me. It's non-productive. You know what I'm saying? It's nigger behavior. And I didn't know I was one. I was just born into it. But now looking back, like, yo, I'm spending the rest of my life working on my legend. You know what I'm saying? I'm spending the rest of my life working on the things that I can fix. You feel me?
Indeed.
So that's what it's about, bro. So with Gucci, with Dame, with all these people, it's all a distraction from me, from you, from them. You know what I'm saying? It's all a distraction. I don't know what black people need to do. I don't know what black people what works for. Man, you think I'm trying to figure out what works for 40 million people? Are you kidding me? That shit is vexation of spirit at its finest. No, sir. I can't control that. And that is exhaustion, bro. What I want to see is, wow, how fast can I learn another language? How can I scale my entrepreneurship? Can I take it further than my mother and father? Can I contribute something to the marketplace where somebody can add on to it when I'm dead? Can I leave a personal journal that make it in the Smithsonian Museum?
Facts.
Shit like that, nigga. When I walked into the Library of Congress, they got Columbus's journal. They got Pizarro journal. When he's fucking up the Incas and Aztecs, he wrote about it. They got his journal, bro. Is anybody gonna have your journal? You know what I'm saying? Is anything you do gonna be in the Smithsonian? Right? Real shit. You know what I'm saying? When I went to the African American Museum, they ain't have Sheikh Anta Diop in there.
Damn.
They ain't have Jewel Pokum in the African American History Museum, yo. They ain't have Natural Tahuti, who is the originator of the Black woman is God shit.
Facts.
Facts.
They ain't have my dude with an honorable mention.
If you don't know, Natural Tahuti is the originator of the Black woman is God. Google him. Before anybody was saying that, Natural Tahuti was doing that shit on 125th Street.
Facts.
Facts.
Downtown Brooklyn first. Facts. I was there.
You know what I'm saying? But he ain't in there. You know what I mean? Dr. Ben ain't in the African American History Museum, yo.
Damn.
Noble Drew Ali is not in the African American History.
Say word.
Queen Afua is not in the African American History Museum. Now, why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because after our generation passes, what happens to these people? What happens to these people?
Some of them will be forgotten.
Most of them.
Unfortunately.
Right?
Yeah.
Destruction of Black civilization ain't in the Library of Congress. Right? Now, I'm saying this because you can't go out like that. Right? Do the work and push it far so you make an impact so major that it matters when you die. And people say your name, they complete your uncompleted works, they deify your completed works, and they build edifices of you. That's important. Because sadly, unless somebody in the community becomes a baller, there is no museum for Phil Valentine, sadly. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So push your life so far that you matter to Mexican people. You matter to Jamaicans. You matter to Brazilians. You matter to people in Australia. You matter. Or shit, someone on this damn chat could be the person responsible for putting a Phil Valentine, the Wounded Womb book in making sure something happens to that. Or John Henrik Clark's lectures. That you do a little museum. So somebody, there go a to-do list for somebody. you can be responsible for alternative Black ideology of America, right? So if they're not going to go into the African American History Museum, which is a Christian existence, you can be responsible for the secular theology of Black America, or not. Yeah.
Damn, bro. You know, once again, you delivered a classic dissertation. You know, strictly laying that foundational soil from which, you know what I'm saying, amazing things will spring forth. I don't gauge classical dissertations on ooh ah moments. You know, I know that what was offered here today is food. You know what I'm saying? It's food for the soul. It's nourishment. It's necessary for the growth that needs to take place for us to spring into that greatness. You know what I'm saying? That we speak so elaborately about. So I want to thank you once again, you know, for taking time and sharing energy, brain cells, thoughts, concepts, insight, experiences, intellect, you know, all of those things that are necessary to breathe life, you know.
Tough talk, man. You know what I'm
That
saying?
that that that
It's a
that
tough
tough
talk.
talk. That tough
Yeah,
talk.
you know, it got to be tough. You know, we need tough for where
Right.
we are going. We need tough. We need uh straight shots at 151, nigga. 100 proof. You know
151.
what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. You know, we need that because again, I feel like a lot of people have done us a disservice for not talking to us tough. You know what I'm saying? We did not equip us with the things to move forward. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's
Indeed.
about. So tough talk is important and it's for grown people. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
yes, it's a definitely a grown
It's for grown
conversation.
people. But I
I
challenge
mean,
I
yeah,
challenge somebody to get in front of that. And if all these people have meant something to you, Bobby Hemmett's of the world, Phil Valentine's of the world, Joel Pookums of the world, Leonard Jeffries of the world, the list can go on. Khalid Muhammad. If all these people mean something to you, yo, they still have living relatives. Get a Khalid Muhammad pencil. Get a pair of his boots, right? Form the museum. You can do it out your living room or you can do it as a pop-up on some P.T. Barnum shit.
mm,
I'm giving you the game right now. That's not my mission, so I'm not doing that shit. But if that is something to you, if these people mean something to you, hell, if a blue pill means something to you, get the goddamn buy something off blue pill and don't open that shit. That's the museum right there. So you can't, one thing about those white people that you hate so much, they honor people that mattered in their culture, yo. Napoleon
facts.
Bonaparte is still living. George Washington, General Patton, they write books about Achilles. They write books about Homer, Josephus. Anybody in their culture, there is a memorial somewhere of them. Now, how do you honor your ancient mothers or fathers? You feel me?
Facts.
So if these
Mm,
people matter to you, they will be forgotten when you're gone. Trust me. Don't expect your kids to do it because with the news cycle, it's too crazy. So when Phil Valentine goes, we'll cry for him and post our favorite lecture and shit like that. But he's alive right now, and you could get a T-shirt from him. You could get one of his one of. Before I go, Blue, Phil Valentine before he opens every lecture does a 10,000 word intro. Right or wrong?
facts.
Who's gonna get those notes?
Who's gonna get them notes? That belongs in our Smithsonian. You know, we have
Bobby
to build
Hemmett
it.
read the most books out of any human being possible. Okay. Who's getting Bobby's book collection?
I would love to know.
This is what I'm saying. So take your mind off Gucci and boss up and be empowered to do the unthinkable and do the unimaginable Press the envelope, fam. Press the envelope, yo. You know what I'm saying? That shit right there is pressing the envelope. And that's the most honor you can do. Now, whoever takes charge of that, man, you a legend. Because these people need it and they're depending on you, whoever's on this chat, because ain't nobody gonna do it, man. I'm already telling you, I know how this story goes.
We've seen it before.
Yes, sir. Build the library, build the Smithsonian shit, the black for alternative thought. And that's what it is, alternative thought, yo. Because guess what? Stephen Hawkins will be remembered. Richard Dawkins will be remembered.
Right. Karl Lagerfeld just died today. He'll never die. Right.
Right.
They'll see to it that he never dies.
He never died. Yo, who will be a mogul coming out of the conscious community? A mogul, a top businessman or businesswoman that makes those type of moves from the conscious community. These people have put in hours and hours of work. You cannot continue to live in poverty. You cannot continue to have a lack, a mentality of lack. And these people have paused their life so you can move forward. Don't let the information cripple you. Take the information, it's secular, and go participate. America is for people that participate. You are in the fucking country that makes shit happen. Change your perspective and do the work for those people, or everything they did was in vain, yo. Was in vain.
Real talk. Real tough talk.
Tough talk, man. Real spill.
Real spill, y'all. But family, once again, I want you to leave them with your Cash App.
Oh, Kenny Briz, KENNY BRIS. Kenny Briz, you know, I put it in the chat. Fuck with me.
Yes, indeed. Anything else you need to plug?
Oh man, KenBrisbon.com.
Spell it.
You know what I'm saying? KenBrisbon.com. And you know, just real quick, you know, my business model is create, upload, sell, cuss. And what that means is everything you do should be uploaded to the cloud. Some days you might make money, some days you don't. But everything you do should be uploaded to the cloud. So if you are a blogger, turn your blogs into an ebook. If you are a public speaker, turn your public speaking into audio game. Clean it up, edit it, put it out. Right? If you're working off Shopify, these websites have apps that will work for you and you can sell. All right. We already looked at the numbers to see how many people is using the internet, right? 4 billion people. Okay. So out of 4 billion people, are you telling me that you can't make $100 a day? All right. Are you telling me you can't make $200 a day? Are you telling me you can't make 10,000 a month? Now I'm a big thinker. Are you telling me you can't make 100,000 a month? Are you telling me you can't make $10 million a year off the internet? Is that what you're telling me? Have you ever thought about that? Do you know with this internet, you could change the trajectory of your family's history? You create, upload, sell. Don't just be on here living. Work on social media and control your scroll. Make sure you have a website and everything you do, package it and upload it. And then think 2-3 years from now, your website will have a catalog. Think Netflix in terms of your content. Think Netflix, your entire likeness, whether you have pictures, whether you have music, whether you have audio books, ebooks. Think in terms of Netflix. So when people go to your website, they have an experience. If you only got one thing now, don't let that throw you off. Think in terms of 3-4 years. So when I come to your website, joeblow.com, you got 50, 60 things on there and you scale from $2 to $200.
Facts. All
right?
right.
So just just change the mind frame, yo. You know what I'm saying? Think $1,000 a day type shit. 1,000 a day.
Absolutely.
You make $1,000 a day, family. That's $365,000 a year. You make $365,000 a year. You are rich. Did y'all know that? That's basically $30,000 a month. You're rich. You're in the top 5%. $1,000 a day.
Right.
Right. So we definitely, we wanna move forward off Gucci and all the shit that's just that could create any type of anxiety. You know what I'm saying? So $1,000 a day. You can't make 1,000 a day, make 500. You still at 150,000, you make $500 a day. 500 a day. That'll change your whole fucking life. I guarantee you won't be having the same conversations that you've been having. You make 100,000 a year.
Facts.
You feel me, Blue?
Yes, indeed.
The whole world will open up to you. You make 100,000 a year. You in a different space. Then there go your passport stamps. There goes every single thing that, man. Listen, that's it, man.
Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Once again, these lines is open. Tough Talk Tuesday. We're gonna continue doing what we gotta do as long as we need to continue doing it. All right. So I appreciate you once again.
You already know, bro.
For sure. Peace, love, and light.
All right.
To the viewing audience, to the listening audience, we want to thank you for journeying with us on this monumental episode, this monumental journey. This path that ultimately is gonna lead to success. You know what I'm saying? That success that not only that you're looking for, but it's necessary. It's time. You know what I mean? If nothing else, like I said, if this year represents that year that curse is lifted, you know what I'm saying? What does it sound like? What does it lift like? What does it look like to finally step up out of that shallow grave and, really dust your shoulders off and, you know, get to that place in the sun where you experience that eternal sunshine of the mind. You feel me? And it deals with changing your perspective. 1 degree of change still qualifies as change. You know what I'm saying? But 180 degrees looks a whole lot more attractive. You know what I mean? So SOLEGOLDBIZ.com. That's soulgoldbiz.com. That's where you can get your liquid gold. All right. We have these as well. We have the Zorb, thezorb.com. You could put in the coupon Blue Pill, all right, for a sizable discount for your cell phone radiation blockers. All right. Um, Again, if you're in Vegas this weekend, come out and see us at the Las Vegas Theater, at the Library Theater. That's going to be on the 22nd. That's on that Friday. And yeah, we got some more episodes coming. All right, got some more treats coming your way, family. All right, Cash App, $ Blue Pillar 44. Peace, love, and light. Make sure that you thumb up this video. If you are new to the channel, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Share the video. Tell your family about what took place tonight. You know what I mean? I know that you know somebody out there that needs this food, this plate. You know what I'm saying? This 44-course meal. All right? All right, y'all. I want to say thank you again. Peace, love, and light, y'all. Go get some rest. Peace.